jalo ka go ikitsisi nna ke bidio a taolo boipuso Lucas mo parlamento a bobirwa ke mblastilo wa PAC. Honorable members,
Jamina ke Victor Billy Pologolo, Member of Parliament Kanye West.
Gore tse ke kgonegile Maui East.
Wa Botete West.
Boniface Mabeo Kamalete.
Kibiyo apalelo mutausani tamaga gumogan constituency.
Dumilani Kibidio Motlhale Mamwalu Sinkange constituency.
Shima Monagen Molepola South.
Aegis,
Dumelang batsadi ke video a ndula mo ho bona go tswa go Ministry of Finance ko ofising ya Accountant General.
Dumelang ke video Patrina Speni mona ko ke tswa ko Ministry of Finance ko le patella Accountant General.
Dumelang ke video Linduela from Office of the Auditor General.
Dumelang na ke video Amanda Molefi, Technical Advisor to the PAC.
thank you very much. Look at ikitsisi batho.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Like video, Boata Mitsurukanele, Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Environment and Tourism.
Thank you very much.
Can I lay my chief accountant, Missimanyana? Can I lay Cooketso Missimanyana? Can I lay Deputy Permanent Secretary, Corporate Services, Memasero Moketsi? Wapele Director, Department of Wildlife and National Parks, Remwe Mibatsabang. And then Deputy Director, the same Department, Wildlife and National Parks, Re Marcelo Macondo. Then Kenali, the Legal Advisor, Co-Operational Tourism, Re O'Neill. Re Ntsewe also go Department of Wildlife and National Parks. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yaleboga. Accounting officer. Negero ngayano retsene mo go ikaneng. We take oath and we ask you, county officer, to stand up. You choose the Bible or affirmation. If you choose the Bible, put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Thank you very much. Tansalam Rahu.
I, Boata Mitsurukanele,
Swear by Almighty God
swear by Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
before this committee of parliament
before this committee of parliament
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing else but the truth.
and nothing else but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. Finance Director. I
Kwaketsompo Msimanyani,
swear by Almighty God
swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
to this committee of parliament
to this committee of parliament
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing else but the truth.
and nothing else but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Right, Riganele, le Popola, let Richard to the Veileha, Kironel Intian, let Richard Lasse, Recas Tommy saying like Hore, when any rebatted or head Lunali Lunal Telo Drateliwe, a Moletatin Latella. Me, Itar Maracunianari, breaky, Richard just a mighty war or well a helllet. Me, move piano, Nerca Copa Nele, executive summary, ya Ministry wa gago kgotsa Ministry o eteletseng pele ta kopa gore o e neye ka bokhutshwane o e tseye gore e badilwe ra leboga raitso.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I take this opportunity to share the executive summary for the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, a ministry that is responsible mainly for three key areas, which is environmental protection, natural resource management and tourism marketing and product development. I'll just summarize these key three areas because I feel it is important as we move forward. Environmental protection covers areas that are such as weather information services, which is very, very important for some of our economic sectors. There are some sectors of the economy that are completely dependent on these areas. This includes agriculture, this includes the aviation industry. Some people don't know that the aviation industry can't operate without petrologists. The next, and we are also, this is an area that is also responsible for environmental assessment legislation. I know that is common. The most common ones are the EIAs, that are the ones that most people remember, which are used to protect the environment. Then the next area that is also critical in this ministry is the conservation and sustainable utilization of natural resources. That includes wildlife management, forestry management, and all the natural resources in this country. And finally, tourism, marketing, and product development. This is a key area that we carry out as part of our mandate, and we utilize our only parastatal, which is Botswana Tourism Organization. This area is important because first of all, we're looking to growing our tourism industry and sector, growing our key markets. We want to grow our key markets, which are mainly USA, Germany, United Kingdom, and France, in that order. The ministry has 6 departments, which are wildlife, tourism, meteorology, forestry, National Museum, environmental protection, and the corporate services, which is a support service to the whole ministry. When we look at the financial management for the year under review, we had a budget of 848,020,610 during 2021-2022, and we utilized 94% of that recurrent budget. We had a development budget of 235,367,361, which was warranted to the ministry, and we utilized 97% of that. But it's important to note that 99 million was also was reduced from the development budget, which resulted in 17 projects being deferred because now we didn't have the budget to undertake them. Some of the projects that we undertook during that period under review is the completion of the 60-kilometer non-lethal electric game-proof fence in Makgadikgadi area. This is a fence that is mainly developed to reduce the human-wildlife conflict from animals crossing from Makgadikgadi National Park into the other areas. We had budgeted to collect 66 million pula during that period, but we only collected 36 million pula, and this is mainly because of we were still in the recovery period from COVID, so a lot of our revenue streams didn't perform as we had anticipated. If you compare that period to 2024-2025, we collected 158 million pula, so you can see that we have more or less graduated from that period of COVID. But we also have some constraints, mainly budgetary constraints, because our departments have grown over the years and the responsibilities have grown, but the budget has remained stagnant over the years. So this also curtails what we can do as a ministry. In terms of some of the areas that we have undertaken during this period include, amongst them are the natural resource utilization and management during the year under review. Like I said, we are responsible for management of natural resources. That include wildlife, which is common, but it also includes well products, pani, thatching grass. These are areas that are important to the rural communities, and these are some of the areas that we are utilizing. We also implement a program that is called Community-Based Natural Resource Management Program, which is mainly focuses on allowing rural communities to utilize resources that are within their areas. In this program, we allocate, through the ministry responsible for land, we allocate concession areas which we allow local communities to utilize and also to partner with either private sector or utilize them on their own. Mr. Chairman, as part of empowerment of local communities, as I said, we give them concession areas. During the period under review, we also allowed them to hunt. Hunting was suspended from 2014 to 2019, but from 2019, we started allocating hunting quotas. During the 22 hunting season, an amount of 31,269,459 was generated by communities from hunting. This has improved over the years, and to date, in total, since 2021, when hunting was started, 105 million pula had been accrued to communities. The challenge that we are facing is that we are realizing large amount of money being generated through hunting, through community tourism. But the problem that we are encountering is that the utilization of those funds is a problem nowadays, because we are having a challenge of people fighting over this money at a community level. So we need a lot of help from other sectors to ensure that these resources benefit the community as much as they should. Another area that we've been doing is what we call the special elephant quota. These are in concession areas that are prone to human-elephant conflict, and the money that comes out of these quotas are put in a fund that is called the Conservation Trust Fund, where communities can apply for funding to carry out programs in their areas. So to date, since 2022 and 2024, we have accumulated 64,743,950 pula through the special elephant quota. In terms of tourism, marketing and diversification, Mr. Chairman, we developed what we call the National Tourism Master Plan, Strategy and Master Plan, basically because we realized that our tourism is mainly focused on the northwestern Chobe areas. Therefore, we looked at the entire country and identified different areas where new tourism products can be developed. So at the moment, we are in a process of now implementing the new areas. We started with Chobe area because this is an area where we have a project that we call Kasanika Zungula Redevelopment, where we are relocating all government places out of the Chobe riverfront so that we can allocate those pieces of land for tourism development. We also have a program that is called Keeping Game in Masimo, that is also focused on trying to encourage local communities to utilize their masimos throughout the year so that they can have agrotourism in their areas so that they can be more productive. During the 2021-22 financial year, there were 66 applications that were approved and 377 animals were distributed. To date, we have had 522 applications that have been received. The challenge we have in this with this program is that some of the species that people want, especially Ramsbok, elands, are in short supply because we only have some from a lot of these animals that we distribute. We get them from our own conservation. From our own areas, and we have been lucky to have donations from places like Jwaneng Park and from Rupuli, who have also augmented, but we would like to have more people who can help us with all the animals that we might need. The other challenge is that we can only distribute the animals during winter season, because capturing animals only works well during the cold months of the year. Otherwise, we lose most of them. We have some challenges that we are facing as the ministry, and the biggest challenge that we currently face is the human-wildlife conflict, mainly with the culprits being elephants. The human-wildlife conflict incidences are increasing all years. During the year under review, we had about 7,000 incidences, but on average, every year annually we have about 10,000 incidences. And in terms of the budget, we spend between 25 million and 28 million pula on an annual basis. So these are some of the challenges that we have. But we have some strategies. We implement fences in some areas, and we increase the number of patrols that we can have. The challenge that we have currently is that we don't have enough resources in terms of the human resource and in terms of the vehicles that are required for us to deal with this thing. Another area that we are grappling with is poaching. Poaching levels keeps on fluctuating, but we have them under control. But still, it demands a lot out of our resources to be able to deal with poaching. As some of you might know, we have just amended our Wildlife Act so that we can rearm our anti-poaching units. In the last one challenge that I will talk to is the wildfires. This year, we have had significant amount of rainfall, and this has had this means that there is enough fuel in the veld that might increases the risk of wildfires. So this is an area where we are going to have to deal with So I just summarized the executive summary with the thinking that it has been right. So in conclusion, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to present the report and await feedback so that we can improve our performance. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chair. Carlo Buharemo Ducanele. Can I ready to buaka the kind of products that you offer? Haka uto bua sepeka urban tourism. So nekebata ko itora as a ministry, do you have any plans in place or any strategies in place to build our cities such that we can attract more urban tourists? Currently, the number like 2023, you only received 1.8 million visitors to Botswana. Mere level are some cities still the way built to attract urban tourists. Bangkok, they received 32.4 million visitors. Even in Elamoharo now, Johannesburg, 4.3, Cape Town, 2.6. Alona, only the cities alone, they more kana Gaborone, kana France, kana Ipehela Ilore. You are building a product here, urban tourism, to attract tourists into the city.
Okay. Not that it will be our modus operandi, but just for purpose of managing time because it's late.
Okay. Okay. Le Department of Meteorology. Go lebega le na le kana le tseretso ya go cancela scarce skill allowance for diploma holders. So putso ya mene ile gore so santa ke le tseretso yo intseng jalo a mitiro e dirwang ke bone batho bao go gone go di stations ba berekela mo go tsone a gona le difference mo tirong e dirwang ke motho wa diploma le wa degree le gone gore a mmele ke la cancela bone ba le cancelang cancellation means canceling ba ritibatsa maikuto bone ba ileng gore le tsere tshotso ya gore le go kutsa madi a ba tse ba amogela re bile gore kana motho a amogela madi o tsa di loan based on the money that he earns. So I le gore yana ske skill kana ke 25% kana 50% ya go tswa bangwe ba go sala ba amogela zero, and then obviously counseling needs to be there because of mental health issues and do tse dintseng jalo ke ya bobedi che gongwe be ke botsa ya boraro netly for nyam mi khora keta bailang go
Limit
to
yourself to 3.
erra khanya BTO ne ke libile mo reporting ya lona gore ka ngwa go re o libileng madiala ne tsin BTO was enough only to cover the operational cost, not to cover their core mandate, which is marketing, according to you. Yana ke botsa gore mo dingwa ge ntse di latelang, did this pattern continue ya gore madi a nelwang BTO ga cover their core mandate? Ha ile gore go ntse yalo, then go ta go ra gore a me ga se gore le tse tshotso ya go tswala BTO ka gore gona mosola gore le ne le batho 100 million every year me ba sa kgone go dira their core mandate. Le gore gongwe do you have statistics tsa gore BTO as an organization a me le ngokela the visitors especially from outside the country. Is there any role that they are really playing into bringing numbers, especially because you don't have funding for their core mandate, which is to market the country, especially to outside visitors? Their contributions to the numbers of people who are visiting. Hakire about 1.8 million. Le kagona we are no 1.8 million yo 300,000 to na go BTO. Le gore ngwe revenue e tsileng ka BTO ke bokae, because sometimes when you invest you have to have return on investment. So if you are giving them 100 million every year, I expect them to bring 3-4 times that much. Thank you.
County officer? Yaro uskazana tamo making. How do I now get to our war?
Okay. No, thank you very much. Thank you for the questions. I'll start with the event tourism one. One of the things that we realized is that most of our areas, most of our cities do not have much to offer in terms of attracting tourists and keeping people here. And one of the things that we have done as part of the implementation of the tourism master plan and strategy is that we have identified our first area where we are working with is we have identified Gaborone as an area that we need to work on from a tourism perspective. We have engaged a team from UNWTO, World Tourism Organization, to assist us in identifying all what that we need to do to ensure that these places can attract more tourists. One of the things that has been identified as we are doing some surveys from people who come here, especially for business and other things, is that Gaborone lacks entertainment. So we have been working with the Ministry of Trade to ensure that we avail opportunities for people to invest in entertainment places, because a lot of the people who come here, they say, especially those who have a lot of money, they say they come here for business and they fly back to South Africa because they want to be able to have entertainment that goes on until quite late. And we are also opened up for those who can run tour operations around the city to take people to places where they can explore the city and see some of the areas that are available here. So there are some people who have started registering their open tour buses that they will take around the city. We hope they will progress more. In terms of scarce skills for med services staff, I think I need to make it, I think we all know we do not as a ministry decide who gets the scarce skills and who doesn't. It is already prescribed who can get scarce skills and who hasn't. So when we talked to the issue around metrology department, there was a couple of years ago, I think, there was an issue where some of the diploma holders were given scarce skills. However, we were notified by the DPSM that was an error, because the people who were supposed to get scarce skills were degree holders who are meteorologists. And this, therefore, we started the engagement with the officers. It has been going on since 2022. where we negotiated, we informed them, we told them about this decision that has been taken, that was a mistake to give them scarce skills. Then the issue that we were negotiating mainly with the DPSM was that those who were already taken scarce skills, they should not, the money that they've been given should not be recovered from them, because it wasn't their fault that they were given the money. So it took a bit of time from 2022 until I think late 2023, 2024. That was when finally it was DPSM agreed that we should not recover the money that was given, but we had to stop the scarce skills. So last year we informed them again, and we notified them in writing that we will stop the scarce skills because of the reasons that had been advised before. Yes, we went back and forth with it. They were not in agreement, of course. Everybody, when they are told that part of their funding, their resources will be cut, they will not agree to that. So yes, we took that decision because we had to. We didn't want to take it, but we had to because it was something that was not supposed to have been done. It was a mistake, but it was something that was not supposed to have been done. And they were informed and they were given time. It wasn't like we did it today and then we cut it tomorrow. We gave them time. In terms of BTO budget, like I said when I started in my executive summary, our budget is not enough. The salvation for BTO has not changed for the past 5 years. They've always been given the same amount. So this amount, and as you know, the cost of living increases, the cost for utilities increases, for operations increases, but the fund yes. So what we have always supported BTO to ensure that they carry out their core mandate was that we utilized one of the funds that we have in the Ministry of Environment and Tourism is the Tourism Development Fund. This is a fund that was created mainly to support product development, to support marketing of tourism activities. So we have been utilizing the part of that fund to support BTO to be able to carry out the marketing, and they have been doing their core business of marketing over the years. Now, in terms of the numbers that specifically are brought in by BTO, we cannot be able to disaggregate which numbers were brought in by BTO, because when they go out marketing, they go out marketing with a whole team of other people who are the operators in this country, who are the agents in this country. So what we look at for us is the trends. Are we getting more and more tourists coming to our facilities? That is what we're looking at. And if you look at for instance, we compare the pre-COVID time and after COVID, we say, from our core markets and also from the emerging market, we realize that the numbers have been increasing. If we look at our number one market, which is the USA, by 2024, we were already 18% above the pre-COVID level, which shows that the marketing that we have been doing, because we've been concentrating on key areas where we can bring more tourists, has shown success. So we believe that we will continue lobbying for more resources for Botswana Tourism Organization so that they can do their core business of marketing, because marketing is very, very expensive. So, but we can live without having a marketing arm of tourism in this country. Thank you.
Nka supplement I say one is
Yeah, go ahead.
on urban tourism. There have been people who have tried to approach your organization with free advice and bapaletri. Are you willing to get advice for free from a resident of Botswana who is employed by the government of Botswana, who used the government of Botswana resources to come up with a plan that could change Gaborone into a top tourism city? If you are willing, I have his proposal here. Nka go inela wa go e bala ha ile gore you are willing to accept advice from somebody o ntseng jalo se.
Very much. Honorable Paul.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm willing.
We coupate.
Yeah.
Majority Honorable Thousand, we coupate.
Na go kopa comrade o mongwe. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, Dumela re Modukanele and team. Le nna hela lo ke na dipotso tse di tla tlang o bo di araba tsotlhe. Nngwe ya potso ya ntlha ke gore I guess by now you are aware that we do have a new government in place. And this government, they made promises. And I believe at your level, you must have read the manifestos. And Mopila Wane, Hona Lehaibuanka, developing the tourism sector. And the intention is to come up with a very comprehensive and inclusive tourism plan. The question there would be, how far are you with implementing this pillar or this portion of the manifesto? Then more pillar number 3, UDC speaks of, among others, Ibuaka environment. It talks of climate change and green energy. In the interest of time, I'll choose not to go into the details. So that is one question that I need you to update us as to how far you've gone. Somewhere in there also, the money that we know most tourists ba tlogela outside the country, ga ba reka di-package tsa go tla kwano. Go bona gore we don't actually realize reap the benefits fully from our fauna and flora. So how far are you as government to align to Khotlisa Madi a Mogai? Yengwe, which I find a bit worrying, get the uptake, unless your statistics are not correct, yabato ba agrotourism. You've mentioned that only 24 have been successful in terms of getting the license. But I know you perhaps need to also speak to, is this 50% tourism and 50% agric arrangement still in use, or NAIMCUA because it was not thought of? Kabotlalo. Yamuhelo, in the interest of time, you'll also speak to the levy that has been collected in the last 10 years before levy, tourism levy. My last question, if you don't understand, through chair, I will make clarity. The last one, game. Of the people who were successful, this has benefited them. Can be empowered or assist you, or it was meant to benefit a few people at the expense of the many? Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable, for the questions that you have asked. The tourism sector. We are developing the tourism sector. As part of the government's promises has been that the tourism sector is going to be grown. Like I said, we have blocked the country into 8 tourism clusters, basically, so that we can take advantage of each of its uniqueness. And now we started with Kasani Kazungula area, where part of what we are doing now is that we are relocating all government departments from areas that are prime tourism areas. We have already completed the relocations. We are now at a place, at a time that through our BTO, we will be advertising and sourcing out possible investors who can come and develop in that area. Because what we are looking at is people who can develop things that can bring more employment, more opportunities, and keep more people within the Kasane Kazungula area and the Chobe area as a whole. We're also looking at another area that we are opening up is the Bohembo area, where along the bridge we are also identifying possible pieces of land in that area that we will be allocating to citizens, to consortiums, to private investors who can come and develop those areas, because those are unique prime areas that haven't been touched before. And we will be going to the country, moving into other different areas. We are currently actively looking for investors who can go into areas such as the Tuli block, which has also not been really developed that much. It has a few establishments, but we believe it can still grow even better. So we are actively looking at how to get more investors in that area. In terms of the environment and climate change, this is an area that we are already actively working on. Like I said, we have the Environmental Assessment Act, where we are implementing the EIA legislation, which looks at how to protect our environment and ensure that all the developments that are being done here are done in a sustainable manner. One of the challenges we are having is that we are receiving a lot of requests for waivers for people not to undertake assessment. And I like to caution us that, when people come to request for waivers, they feel like it will waste their time to spend 6 months doing an assessment when they could be implementing the project. But our view is that, one, we are protecting the environment, two, we are protecting the people where the project will be implemented, but importantly, especially when it's government project, we are protecting the taxpayers' money, so that you don't invest in a project and then the next day everything collapses because you didn't do an assessment that can tell you whether that area is suitable or not suitable for the type of design and the type of construction that is in there. Another area that we are already started working on is to develop a carbon credit framework. This is where we can trade in carbon, but because we have received a lot of interest from companies that are coming from abroad who want to buy carbon credits in our country, but we need proper legislation so that we know what we are getting ourselves into. In terms of the tourism leakages, where people pay from outside and come here and we lose some money, this is an area that we have observed, but I think this is an area where the international trade is making it very difficult, because even when you are traveling from here to the US or anywhere, you pay your dues here, and then the money has to be separated along the way. So we have done a study on this, and we have realized we have had some findings, but basically this is also a financial matter. We are engaging with Minister of Finance because at the end of the day, we need strong financial legislation that can dictate how the tax regime can be undertaken. So this is something that we are working on between ourselves and the Minister of Finance, and at the moment we don't have an answer for it as where we are. In terms of the agro-tourism, in terms of licensing, the numbers are low. But in terms of practical where people are doing these things, the numbers are high. So we are still trying to figure out why people don't want to license, because they are operating. The agro-tourism projects are many across the country. Even around Gaborone, there are many of them, but they are not forthcoming in terms of requesting to be licensed. And because we don't want to stop people from making a living, we are engaging with them. We are trying to encourage them to license. In terms of, are we still at 50-50? No, you are now allowed to utilize as much of your land as possible. Because what we realized is that in some areas, it is not productive to do a 50-50, 60-30 or whatever it works for you. So we are trying to look at what people can do what can benefit the owner of the land. Keeping game in Masim is open to everybody. Anybody who has a piece of land, anybody who has yona letsimo can benefit from this program. I think what we need to know is that this is free. We capture the animals, we transport them for you, we deliver them to your team. We send our people to come and assess it, advise you. I mean, we advise people that there were programs in agriculture, I don't know whether it's still there, that was helping people to fence Masimo Abone. So we get them to utilize those so that the fence is suitable to keep animals in. So everybody is eligible, and there are those who have already benefited by Lengori. They are at the lower scale of the economy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. PS. Mulawa, kana malawa kana ngakitse. Wa go leka go tsenya diphologolo tse e leng gore di na le sabe mo go senyetseng batho. Ke ba se ka ya o lebeletse mo kganyago ya human wildlife conflict. Ha ke tse gore ra ditlou yala le ditaukwana. Here around in the southern part, you'll find the train, the piri, the nenyane, di senyetsa batho. Le diphologolo tse dingwe go a compensate wa mo tsone mola wo le utsisa leng ke di le sale le bua gore le tsisa molao gore diphologolo tse di tshwanetseng gore di ka compensatiwa di compensatiwe ya no gale ga o etotla ga ke itse gore how far are you with, can you assure us gore go re ta bona sengwe mo parlamenteng e tlang ya July. Number 2, gona le dikgang tsa tourism in mahelo a bogologolo heritage areas. Like if you go to Lobatsi, the old radio of Botswana, the old parliament of Botswana, go museum wa bo Mandela yana kare re dirile wa ga ka Samora Machel. What is happening? Why are you not expanding tourism in the southern part of the country? Like Kibuaka Tsunebo, the old radio of Botswana, those are heritage areas. Li renka gone go leka go tokatsa semo sa tourism. Kanye nngwe ke re tsa mo go heta ka yone ke kanya bodiredi wa gago. Can you assure us gore ya ka lo tsere ditlhobolo le dinetse ba wildlife? Are you sure this is going to protect poaching? I mean, is it going to help gore poaching e ko tlase kana nya? If not, ke le bona go tshwanela gore go be go ntse jalo gape ditlhobolo tse batho ba di neetsweng tsena. Can you be very clear ka tsone gore na re ditlhobolo tsena are they ditlhobolo tsa ntwa kana ke ditlhobolo tsa mohuta mang? Are they allowed gore di be di ka dirisiwa mo seemong se se ntseng jang? Ya bogelo ha re tswa moragonyana hale re ntse re bua ka di dirisiwa o tekela le gore le khaelwa ke di dirisiwa thata segolobogolo yang dikoloi borre ba ba le mo informong bana ba e gore ke bona gantsi ba le mo field mona ba lela ka letlhoko la dikoloi mme lokile la reka dikoloi ka utlwa gore le di kgobokantse go gongwe kae ka ga go ente go tswa sepe a ko mona kore go dingwaga go ntse go buiwa ka tsone di kae a ga lo di rekisi bogolo gore batho ba kgone gore ba direke le bone gore ka la reka tse pedi tse tharo ka gore ga dirisa le dire kwa la bile gore di nna ho ga se ke be di receipt out of the many I understand go kile ga tswa about 10 or so ya nna tsone tse neng dia kgoretisa mmele ya taletsa diphatsi mo go tse dingwe a ko re update ka kganyeo and the helicopter, the plane that you bought, how far are you? Where is this plane? Are you making some inroads about bringing back that plane? If not, why? Matata ke eng ka gore e duetswe ke government e duetswe ke puso. Matata ke le sa itsise sa nnete. Kana ha ile gore mongwe o etsereng ka tsela nngwe a sa etse sentle. King re sa bone le motsitse mo dikgotla tsekelo gore a sekele melato ya gagwe ke a leboga
ga te lo timeditse fly machine
ba timeditse fly machine se
la ntha ke utwa e Ramudikane.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable MP. The Mike Simoleka, the review of the compensation of both animals and the rates. Mr. Chairman, we are working on the review of the compensation rates and the animals to be compensated for. We had done this exercise before in 2022, 2023, and we were always, the only stumbling block that always stopped us from continuing with this was that there wasn't enough financial resources to support what we were proposing. But we are working on it, and we will be presenting a proposal during the July sitting of Parliament to say this is what we are proposing. We are proposing to increase the number of animals to be compensated for, but we are not going to include everything. I have to be clear. Maybe we are only going to increase by 2 or 3 animals, because at the end of the day, we should be able to do what the government finances can afford. And with the amount of incidences that are happening right now, it is becoming unsustainable. So we are also looking at a number of options when it comes to dealing with these compensation issues. We are still exploring options. We don't have a concrete one at the moment except the compensation. But we will be submitting, submitting a proposal to Cabinet and Parliament in July. In terms of tourism, when we did a human wildlife conflict strategy during the year, and we consulted across the country, and there were a number of animals that were proposed, which were common, mainly Nelipiri, Tolo. Yeah, those were the 2 that were common across the country that people wanted us to include. So for now, those are the 2 that from the top of my head I can remember. But the rates, of course, will be
I'm shocked. Yeah. You have heard me many times. Di humanegisitse balemi ba tikologo ya Jwaneng. Di ba humanegisitse ga ba robe sepe go mperang ka go tsaya ka go isa go tshimong ya mme o mongwe o bidiwa go te Maditšhaba. There is nothing. Mili di tshwene ya la di tsamayang teng ka teng. Tshwene le tholo kana tholo e bile botoka la ha le yone e tshwenya ka gore eta bosigo but tsone ta le motshegare and is very intelligent like I've always said how e kuba ka o ka re phakela ka 5 o bole ha tsimong ya go o dile ka 5 ka moso ya go tla ka 4:30 ha o ka tla ka 4:30 ka moso ya go tla ka 3 ha o tla ka 3 ka kore you know this animal why go go le sa letle gore re bolae ke ra gore go ikoba ga ene ra go re bolae ka gore go le bagale sa batle go e compensate ya matsimo a batho as I speak ga gona le haile sepe matsimo a along the fence ya mine ya bo dithobane bo seletse bo makuyetso ga gona sepe but le tlogela eng a le tlogela ka bomu kana jang ka gore ga e jele batho bangwe ka ha ba leng ka teng le tlogela ka gore e jela ba nya ako le go baakanya pele ga go mo go tla ko parlamenteng tshwene e be le ngwa di animals tse leng gore they are going to be compensated for kana e roba mmidi Luis o nne le setlhotse go Luis o nne le sepe hela ka o se tsontshitse gore wa baya ya roba yone nna e latlhela e re a
nyame mme yone ya tshwene le yakanye tshwenya ka ha o tsitsi ka gape tshwene gore le go jewa ga e jewe go itela go ipotsa gore poro go le go tla iriwe ka e senyetsa batho ka teng mme le gale ke tsa gore o ntse wa di araba tsa gare mtaosane.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ke tsa gore ke kgakollo re utile heritage tourism ke ngwa tse leng gore ra di promote mo lehatsheng la rona and these are areas kana in the tourism sector is a private sector led sector. So we are promoting this. That's why we are partner with Mozambique to build the Samora Machel Museum go Lobatse. This was also a way of encouraging the people of Lobatse and all those who are interested to go and run tourism activities in that area. Anti-poaching, Re-Army Wildlife Department, I thought to poaching in this country. And what type of weapons are these? These are, let me start by what type of weapons are these that we are talking about. These are what are in the Arms and Ammunition Act. These are what are classified as arms of war. Basically, what it means is that these are the weapons that are used by military and semi-paramilitary organizations. But I want to go back and remind ourselves that the Department of Wildlife and National Parks had been using these types of ammunitions from 1988 up to 2018 when they were stopped. So we have experience of using this type of weapons. We have been trained for them. The teams have been trained for them. But now, because we have had a lag when they were withdrawn from the department, we have partnered with the Botswana Defense Force to train our people to ensure that by the time that the weapons are handed back of them, we have screened them, we have trained them, we have made sure that they are fit for purpose. Those who are not fit for purpose, we would have taken them out of them. Will this make a difference in dealing with poaching? Yes. It has proven over the years, during the years that wildlife was utilizing these weapons, poaching levels were at a very, very low level. And if you honorable members can remember, around 2018, immediately after the weapons were taken on, we had a spike in poaching which almost wiped out all the entire population of rhinos in this country because we did not have the right people who could deal with this poaching. So we are very confident that once we have the department well armed, well trained, well resourced, they will be able to deal with these issues. Yes, like I said, we have problems of shortage of vehicles. Maybe I should just retrace my steps and give a context to this. There was a time between maybe 2012 and 2017, when the Department of Wildlife didn't get any new vehicles. A lot of the vehicles that they were using were second-hand vehicles. So by now, those vehicles are almost down and out. There were some vehicles that were purchased some years ago, which were second-hand vehicles, and the ones that the honorable member is referring to. These vehicles some have worked for a short time, some didn't really do much work for us. So we have been given authority by the Government Fleet Management. It used to be called CTO, they've changed their name. But we've been given authority now to dispose of those vehicles, and the process has started. They will be disposed because they are in our inventory, but they are not usable. So we have taken a decision to dispose of them, and we have been given an opportunity to do that. Ready register to both those who might want to buy them or buy them to do whatever they might do with them. Mr. Chairman, we have a number of helicopters. 2 of them have been taken have been transferred to DIS. They are currently being used for transporting the president when he's moving around the country. One of them is currently in South Africa for repair. And then there's a helicopter that the honorable member is referring to. We don't really know much about this helicopter, but the DCEC is currently undertaking a detailed investigation on that helicopter, and I think they have said they are at an advanced stage, but I don't have much detail on where the helicopter is or what. That's why we have engaged them to do a thorough investigation for us to be able to know, 1, whether there was a helicopter, and 2, if there was one, where is it at the moment?
A follow-up.
Thank you very much.
A follow-up on this one. How many helicopters did you purchase? Lona. How many did you get? Then you made an order and you paid. And how many did you receive? And how many did you not receive? Are you saying how is PS or Lenel regulate the helicopter di dual letting? Mela Muketi Dilikai. This is a very straightforward question. My lord, if I am you are under oath.
Yes.
How many helicopters did you buy?
And how many did you receive?
And how many did you receive?
Clear question. Very fair question.
The records that we have tally with the helicopters that we have at the moment. However, we have had we had rumors that there was an extra helicopter that was purchased, but the records we have now that has been looked through for quite a couple of years now are tally with the helicopters that we have. One that we have that has never really been here it's in South Africa and has been there for quite a while. However, we have been informed that there was another helicopter. That is why we had engaged DCEC to do the investigations, because we don't have the capacity to undertake such investigations.
Sorry. South Africa.
South Africa, it has been there for quite a while. We had sent our engineers there, but it hasn't been returned yet.
Chairman, what is quite a while? And P.S., you don't seem convinced. As the accounting officer, I think I would want a bit more confidence on this issue. There's a helicopter that belongs to your ministry, which is in South Africa for how long? And what is the story there?
The helicopter that is in South Africa, that I'm talking to, has been in South Africa since 2020, 2021. Because we have And the explanation that has been given to us had been that that helicopter had been used, some of the parts from it had been used to maintain the other 2 helicopters that we had. But like I said, we had been informed that there had been another helicopter, but we don't have it in our records. So I can't definitely say there is that helicopter. That is why we have engaged the DCEC to undertake that investigation. And they had told us that they are almost concluding their investigations.
Get the last one. You could PSR in simple terms, short and precise. Ekering. Kana how are lona mo fleeting yalona? Husupa ho husiamehela. Me gape wa sample le gore la re lona le regile di le kae le amogetse di le kae. How re mo recording yalona gore you are not giving me an answer. Ke bona hala le gore ya nong usia ka nna ka tlhogo ya me. How many helicopters did you buy and how many did you receive?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And who was the supplier?
We bought 3 Augusta helicopters. 2 of them are at GIS as we speak. 1 of them is with the Department of Wildlife and National Parks. These are the 3 that we have on record. I have to speak to the ones that we have on record. And those are the 3 that we acquired.
So there's another one in South Africa or higher.
That's an order. That is from another purchase.
Chairman, South Africa ke alona.
Yes.
And then highly alona. I want to mail accounting officer. I want to see a mail gore e be le kwa for about 4 years. And then what effort have you made for a boy like I can nail go South Africa for 4 years? I pay kilampo ya dirisio. And efforts are only delaying.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The one that is in South Africa, like I said, it went there for repair because it wasn't serviceable at the time. But then it had the explain because it has been there for a while and we've been trying to get it back and we couldn't get it back because we had been informed that some of the parts have been used to maintain the other 2 helicopters. This is the helicopter. This is one of the helicopters that are being investigated by GCC to ascertain really, because this is what we had taken it to them to say we have this problem that we have a helicopter that has long been in there and we seem to be having difficulty bringing it back. So we need to understand what are the issues, why is it not being brought back, and are there any other issues that are related to it that
regarding the helicopter and also the Talabaring. Can I go when I as an accounting officer, you should be worried. Was there Koloi, we said Africa were 4 years ago. And home okay helicopter or the helicopter diatur. Baba Bali Rabar and Labu Helu won't let engage again.
Yes, we thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Munare or Chupa. Kerara Utemurili. Yeah,
thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had the last engagement we had with the DCEC was this week, Monday, and they were promising that they are concluding the investigation and they'll present the report.
What are you saying about these helicopters?
We regarding helicopters, like I said, it go GIS. Can but it's at the time in a lane instruction already go GIS or already go transport.
Instruction from who? Sorry, Chairman. Instruction from who?
No, at the time it was an instruction from Office of the President, so we had to comply.
a mme ga le dire maiteko a go di tsaya ka gore le na le tiro kwa
We have already
ya go
engaged.
tlhokomela batswana kgatlhanong le ditou le diphologolo tse dingwe.
I think, Mr. Chairman, we have made significant engagements for Kana. Like if you think, if you go back, like say, the Tawalodine Dizer, the helicopter Dizer, we have already secured already the Tawalodi Bo. We are in an engagement, they are already helicopter Bo. Now, one of the options that we have given, since the helicopter says then we be given a budget that will retake the more fit for purpose right now than even the maintenance is it's a little bit higher. So we feel if we given a budget, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ya me ke tsa gore re hetela go nra bodigwa di khani dintsi
There is no answer. There is no answer.
a ke re wa utlwa right
There's no accountability.
ba re helicopter wa re mo utlwile ka ruma hela o ka iteme ha yo mo dibukeng hala a nya me ha rialo
Mr. Chairman, I can only talk to the records that we have in the ministry. Say what the super regulating renale helicopter regulating one trace of one of the difficulties, you know. I think Baba Nembale around the this issue of the helicopter has been ongoing. Helicopter has been ongoing for a number of years. And one of the major challenges has been that Corona, that record. So
Past chief, Chairman,
we cannot go and we. That is why we have given it to a competent authority who can go and check even to other people.
Lutula rumor hela bole engage a DCC.
Yeah.
Was that a credible rumor?
The reason was that we were being engaged a lot. So we had to engage a competent authority who are competent in investigations to say, have we, they can do a forensic audit to one or army with our ISL or Harina that competence.
Lutula rumor, was it a credible rumor? Kana mutuka nare helicopter ay go guwa jam la go DCC halu to.
Yes, I was saying it was a credible room.
It was a credible room.
Yes, that's why we engaged.
Some thousand was a home pelara go.
Keep it up with my Leonard friend here ubua ka gore bana le di helicopter tse tharo yanong kantele ha bua gore ba engage di CEC o ne ke toba over engage ditse helicopter e leng gore ke yone ya boraro e leng gore yanong e isitswe ka kwa for repairs and is not coming back yanong ha bua yana gona yana go supagala gore o bua ka another helicopter ya rumara Ariano.
Ya miram thousand. Unsa bua ke yone ya rumara.
Ya ground.
Le ya bobedi yo kenikua. Unsa Ariano has that been following. Kan ko re anu are ne rumara te incredible.
Yeah, Kwapeche, before the rumor, the department has 3 helicopters. Yeah. 2 of which are with DIS. 1 of which eco South Africa. Jaanong ke yone ba engage in DCEC gore e tlotlomise gore ke eng helicopter ele go gana gore e boe. That's what he's saying, if I got him correctly.
No, Mr.
Jaanong kana gore
my clarify.
Can I clarify so that I had said when a helicopter e go South Africa e leng gore e salile e sa boe, and we have been having difficulty to bring it back. Then there is a helicopters but we don't have it. So DCC is investigating two things. One, the helicopter e goneng go teng mme rona re isere le yone. Ya bobedi ke e leng gore e kosa gore what are the issues surrounding it and why is it that we cannot break? So these are the issues that we have tasked DCC, and DCC has confirmed or must conclude the investigation. So they will be presenting the report, their investigation, to clarify these issues. So at the thing, I wouldn't be able to give you any definite answer on those two issues.
Okay, note our interest on the two issues. Honorable Dura.
Yes.
Honorable Dura.
Ya leboga modula still. Ke belela gore gongwe issue there was too much political interference to an extent ya gore now the accounting officer ga thalosela a ntshitse sehuba ka se se diragala. Ha o ka mmotsa gore the leadership ya nako e political leadership ya nako e le go ise go nne le this new government were they aware ka seemo senese and what did they do ka sone? But ma ke tlogele ho ke a leboga modula stilo ke ne ke re ke lebogele lephata le ke le ratang thatale ha ke lo rate hela ke lo rata ka mabaka ke lo rata ka mabaka a gore you are working very hard to grow the economy. Tourism is contributing a lot to GDP. In 2023, contribution in the tourism sector was 12.1% to GDP, which amount to 32.8 billion. And this is a lot of money. How it to address the issues of poverty, the issues of unemployment, inequality, to make sure that economy is distributed equally. But so the expectation is that Lona, you are closer to the people. You understand, you know, as you understand the culture, cultural dynamics. So you are better placed actually to help develop this country. So from this money that accrue through tourism, what are the communities outside there benefiting from this? Kibuya kaba disa ba diphologolo. Batho ba sa bolo go thokomela diphologolo bogologolo. This is why diphologolo di hitelwa di le dintsi go magabone. Because ba ne ba di thokomela ba sa dije ba di tshamikisa ba dija ka go thokomela. Jaano gompieno yana because ha ba khone go di ipolaela ba ja government o tsa itshulelo ya bone ne ba tshela ka yone. What are you doing to make sure that you address the issues of poverty? Because how we are poverty, we are going to call us on this. Say, ki bona ba thokomela di phologolo. How we are ka tshenyo ya di phologolo re bua ka bone ba mo ile gore motho ha ruile di khomodile manamane a tsholo a le 10 gwa go aloga hela a le mararo tsote di bolailwe ke dito, and they are treated just like any other person. Kore they have done a lot and they are growing this economy. What are you doing, accounting officer, to make sure that Batoba Lovansa Moluhume?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable MP, for these questions. Tourism is an important sector to this economy. It contributes a lot. And the communities, it is true that the communities that have been living around tourism areas have been not benefiting a lot. However, I think over the years, we will start to see the benefits that come with the people living in these areas. Employment is one of the things that people who are in these tourism areas benefit a lot from. because the tourism by nature is a large employer. It's one of the largest employers in this country. One of the things that have been done over the years, the past couple of years, has been that communities that are living next to these high-value areas have been allocated concession areas. And these concession areas, they can partner with the private sector, they can run their own businesses. But what we have realized is that because a lot of the communities do not have the skills and the knowledge to undertake their own activities, most of them had leased out these areas to private investors, be they local citizens or non-citizens. And they are getting the money out of this leasing of this area. Some of the areas are hunting areas, and they are making money out of hunting. And the amount of money sometimes that are generated, you would expect that because the communities are small, they should be able to invest back and create more opportunities. But we have realized that the money that are being generated is not always that they are utilized properly in these areas. So one of the things that we are doing currently is that we are working with the Ministry of Local Government to ensure that we can develop what we will call village development plans, where the money that are generated can be utilized for community development rather than just for other things. I would just like to give an example of an area like Sect, Chobe Enclave, who have been given CH1 and now they are utilizing also CH2. I mean, from 2022 up to now, they are making an average of 5 million pula a year on their concessions. In fact, in 2023, they made 10 million pula in their concession. And if this money can be utilized properly, it can change the lives of these people. However, because of the way the investment has been done before, we realize that they are not turning into tangible benefits. That is why we are working with the Ministry of Local Government to say, how can we assist this community to be able to invest this money back into their communities? I can give examples of others are making in terms of tourism in those areas, they are making money. But what we are also doing, which we'll be bringing into Parliament also during the July session, is we are crafting a law, a community-based natural resource management bill, which will also address some of the things that we have realized in the companies that are operating in these areas. One of the things we realized was that you find that in terms of social responsibilities that the companies are doing, they have been donating a few things like football kits and all the things that are not empowering communities. So now we are making it into a law that all those who are operating in these areas would have to contribute things that will go into the village development plan, which will really turn the lives of people who are living in those areas. So these are the things that we believe that if we implement them better, they should be able to change people's lives. But like I said, we are saying communities who are living there will be given the first rights to utilize the resources that are in their areas. Thank you.
It's just a follow-up. Does money from the concessions go into the pockets of these poor people? I was saying, how do they benefit? Not as a community, but even as individuals. Because money, the concessions, it can be used to develop the area, but not necessarily empowering people, kind of feeding them. So when you talk of the professional hunters, professional photographers, who are these people? Are they coming from those communities? These are people from outside. Kore ke batla wa araba putso e o le Motswana o se lekgowa o lebile gore batho ba ga lona ke ba ba tshile le diphologolo bogologolo ba di disitse di jisa le hatsile. And what are we doing to help them?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, currently a lot of the, if we go into the hunting area, a lot of the professional hunters are from outside. But at the Botswana Wildlife Training Institute, we have started training programs where we will be training locals to become professional hunters. As much as nowadays we have professional guides, it's more the same thing, but now in the hunting space. We are getting into that space because we realized that the communities we are there, they are currently doing what will be more like menial jobs during these operations. But we want them to get into the more professional jobs, more paying jobs. So that is why at BWTI, which is our own training institute, we have developed a training program together with, we are partnering with the Botswana Wildlife Producers Association, which is an association of hunters and owners of game farms, so that we can train more and more Botswana to get into that space. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We have a challenge here, a number of accounting officers when they come here. They will tell you that we are planning this and this and this, and nothing comes out of that. So this is the only problem that we are experiencing. And I put out, will it be wrong to take a deliberate move? Over regular mikoro, over regular di koloi, bakona go transport the tourists in the area. It's a way of generating income for themselves. If you identify youth, over train over wildlife training center. More in some of these areas, over empower that way. Doesn't your policy allow this?
Yes, it allows that we can do that.
Please do that.
Thank you.
I want to thank you again for having started fencing. Yeah. Go tratela diphologolo ke so se se botlhokwa thata because lo le ka go lwantsha yone conflict ya human wildlife conflict. But ke ne ke batla go itse gore as you do this, have you realized that diphologolo tsa lona in that area di sentse trata ya cordon fence e kgaoganya Ngamiland le Central? And what are you planning to do, maybe to liaise labor agriculture to help them, because lona you have an income and it's only the pologolo so it's in the end foot and mouth mo Central District. So what do you have along these lines? How level la semo sa te wona sense yang hela ka mo area re yone do you have liars with batho agriculture go leka go thusa because ke diphologolo tsa ke tsone tse di dira bothata yone?
Can I follow up on this one? I arabe ga one hela ne go ta re di gware batlaratetse rona ko kgalong ya rona ko Nkange. There's a huge problem. Ya di to tse leng gore di hudisitse batho mo masimong, and a gona yone terata yo bua yone ka motakase ke botsa gore a melena le plan ya go thusa batho ba Nkang ka gore wildlife bona ga bana koloi jaaka ne go bua bana le koloi e one hela di gateng di cruisers tse pedi di are almost 2 years di phekile ena go te ga gona madi a go di maintain, and they only have 10 officers to cover a distance ya over maybe 80 kilometers from Maitengwe border all the way to Mosetse, and they bale 10 ile basadi ba ile gore ha go reportiwa ba khona gore a rona re ga ra khona ka rona re ba bidi hela ke yone ne ke batla gore ngwe ha araba ya ga dihwa ba e tsenya mote.
To avoid making a follow-up modula still, gongwe ha ntse o araba potso e o se ka lebala gore kana yone conflict e batho ba bantsi ba sule ba bolawa ke ditou gongwe o shere le rona gore ha motho a bolailwe ke tou le o dira yang ka ene because go na le batho ba bantsi ba bolailwe ke ditou mme ga gona sepe se se supala gore ba thusitswe gongwe o re supetse ka di-statistics so fa batho ba ba bolailwe ke ditou ke ba di ba bolaileng leng ene a ba setse ba bone thuso ke ra gore go lebaka le le kae le le hitile ba ise ba bone thuso.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In terms of fencing, we work with the Department of Veterinary Services to assist each other in dealing with the fences, especially that from one zone, red zone to green zone. But I think this is where we need the support of Parliament when it comes to allocation of financial resources, because for the fences that are really effective when it comes to elephants, you need electric fences. Those are the ones that are, but most, if you look at the veterinary fences across the country, whether it's from Gambia to Ranzi or from Northeast, those are not, they are not veterinary fences. And the reality that we are living today is that elephants are all over the country. So when you are planning, when the Minister of Agriculture is planning, we should take into account that we are dealing with elephants right now. So that is what adaptive management should get us to think about. Now, when it comes to fencing, to supporting fences in other areas, one of the programs that we have through the funding from the Conservation Trust Fund is that through the Department of Wildlife and National Parks, we are able to support cluster fencing, where we can put solar-powered electricity around the fences, around the fields, so that they can assist, they can reduce the conflict between people and their crops. So I think in areas like Vonkange, these are the areas where we can work with the teams there to be able to help with cluster fencing, utilizing the CTF funding. Honorable Duroy, what happens? Unfortunately, the human-wildlife conflict doesn't just end in property being damaged. Sometimes people lose their lives. And when people have lost their lives through the conflict with animals, the ministry, the government through the ministry pays them an amount of 70,000 bull. This is what we pay them for when people have been killed. And there have been a number of incidences like that over the years. In 2022, there were 14 people killed. In 2023, there were 5. In 2024, there were 9. And this year, there are 11 people who have been killed. 2024, 2025, up to now. From last year, April, up to now. There are 11 people who have been killed by elephants. Elephants are the main culprits when it comes to this. And there was a time when we had to take the money to the Master of the High Court, who was the one who was disbursing the money, ensuring that the right beneficiaries or the right people get the money. But what happened, there were delays which were almost going into a year. And we have since talked to them, and we have taken back the process. And when we do it within a week. We are able to have paid somebody. The only challenge we sometimes encounter is that there is a conflict between who ke ma yo tshwentse gore a hiwe madi ao ke gone hela ha go diegang teng mme hela ha e leng gore sengwe se dumalane gore ke mang madi a tsengwa ko go mang, we are able to do it within a week's time. So at the moment re kolota batho ba le 2 mme ke bone ba e leng gore tota ne e santse le dikgang tse di sa welang ko lapeng ke bona gore batho ba bangwe se re ba duetse. But I have to admit, during the time in Raisa go Master of the High Court, ne go diega thata. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yo wa diega yo.
Ke a leboga. Ke botse tse pedi tse di se ka tse tharo.
Engwe hela ara go di wa go bosigo.
Ke a leboga modula stilo. Ma ke togele tse dingwe ke tsene mo staff welfare. Kana there is nothing that we can do to realize our goals without motivating sone staff sa rona. Ke bona ba re direlang tiro. So there are concerns around the country. Ya gore they are not paid well, bo committed overtime allowance. The last time they were paid was April. That's what they were saying. April, they are not paid on monthly basis. That's what they were saying. Some members of your staff, they've been recruited. B1, for anti-poaching course for 6 months. They came back. Some of them are they are 10 years in the same scale. No promotion. So this actually demotivated them. The other concern that was raised was accommodation. Accommodation is only given to APU. So the other ones are not accommodated. So I'm wondering why there is this discrimination. Maybe there is a reason which you will advance or you will explain. The other concern is, they want risk allowance. Was failing your organization to provide risk allowance? Thank you.
Accounting officer.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the questions, and I agree with you that staff welfare is very important, and we are committed to ensuring that our staff issues are dealt with. Yes, sometimes committed overtime allowance and has delayed, especially when the financial year it's when the financial year ends and when it starts. That's when we have realized that we have a bit of a challenge, and we are working on it. Those who haven't been paid, April, we have already prepared their payments, and they will be paid. This month they will be paid for everything that they haven't been paid before. But we are correcting it such that it becomes seamless. The challenge we have been having has been that, see, in our area, wildlife, not everybody is paid committed overtime. It depends on where you are operating, where you are working. So when people move around, we have to ensure that we pay the right people. We don't have to. So we are clearing that so that next time we don't have any of those delays in payment of people. I'll talk to the accommodation, talk to the long time in the same scale. Accommodation, I think originally the accommodation was given to those who are working in remote stations, like the national parks and also the other stations that are out, and then the anti-poaching unit, the APU. The specific reason for APU, when earlier on when we were talking about, I mean, the department with arms of war, we are talking about the anti-poaching unit. So where it comes from, it was because they are a paramilitary team within the wildlife fund, and because they are a paramilitary team, there are certain requirements of a paramilitary organization in terms of how they should be housed, where they should be housed, and how all their living conditions are different. But outside of that, we provide accommodation for all those who are living in outstation, in remote stations. The only ones that we do not provide accommodation for, ke ba e leng gore ba berekela mo metseng, mo ditoropong, ke bone ba e leng gore a re provide accommodation. But moving forward, we are working on we are changing the Department of Wildlife as we move forward. We'll be presenting a bill to Parliament that is going to be changing the way the Wildlife Department operates completely. Or they will all be treated the same. They will be provided the same amenities, and they'll be trained the same so that we can move them around from one unit to the other. So that is something that we have already started working on, but in terms of accommodation, we had been accommodating those in remote stations. Now, the people who tend to spend the people who are at the bottom, there are many, but the positions as we would like them to be. Now we would like that is why I think in 2022, 2023, we requested for a special dispensation so that we could upgrade a lot of most of our people who were in B1 to C4, so that we can also pull those who are at the bottom. But yes, I have to admit sometimes they take a bit longer at the bottom, but we are working around the clock to ensure that we request for positions, we request for opportunities for them to be able to be upgraded. But I agree that our staff is very important to us.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bell. Yeah, Marahit. It's all I hate. Honorable Mabel.
Yes, sir. PS. Staff welfare. This cry is too much. Just too much. Most of us here, we had calls from across the country. We had messages from across the country from your officers. They are really not happy. I encourage you, I'm not sure if you've gone around, had meetings with them. When was the last time you did that? If you haven't done that in a while, please, I encourage you to do that. Because your ministry is one of those that I have received many staff welfare issues. Isn't it happen? I get what I'm say. Thank you. The fire breaks, you haven't done them in the last 5 years. Why? Ibile budget that thing, the fire breaks, we register somewhere else, we register guy. Because you haven't undertaken them in the last 5 years. Look, do I continue?
Yeah, the last one.
The last one, I just asked one question.
Yeah, I asked one question. Staff welfare. How many fire breaks?
No, staff welfare, make you move fire prelude.
No one says it can't. No one says it can't. Go ahead, sir.
Luke, thank you, sir. Thank you, Luke. Hey, I'm sorry I have to ask about this one position. Many of them spoke about this position. Assistant manager reforms. How many people did you interview for this position? Balbanti ba buile ka yone balbanti ba la ka process e setso mora go le ka fo dirilweng ka teng ke kopa gore re tle re bua ka yone ye assistant manager reforms gore go tsamaile jang o interview le ba le kae until the end. And then a re bua ka ya skills go lebega gore some people are paid scarce skill within your departments, some are excluded. Scarce skill is about BSc, biology, ecology, zoology, and environmental. Why are others left out? Why are others paid? Yaka kibile di issue tsa staff welfare to that didn't thata. Next time ke ka tswella ka tsone, but because of time and what my chairman allows, ke tla fela fo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mabel.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I agree that we have staff welfare issues in our ministry. That is why we are working on them to try and improve the conditions of our staff. We maybe just to highlight some of the things we are doing. We have some of our people who are staying in protected areas. A couple of years ago, they were moved out and then they were taken back. And because of that, some of the places were dilapidated. We have already started working on refurbishment of those areas, and also putting out the internet and also putting up solar systems so that we can improve where they are living. We have already concluded the tender for CKGR. We are almost done with Kwitse Game Reserve, and we'll be doing Makadi Khadi and Moremi Game Reserve next. So we are working on these things just to try and improve the living conditions of our staff so that their morale can be a whole lot better. Fire breaks.
Ga gona dikgang tsa staff sa go tse di ko ombudsman o na le hare maphata a puso ba ga ba tsela ga mo le dikgang tsa batho ba
nya rena le tsone mme we are dealing with them.
How many do you have?
We are attending to them.
How many do you have?
I would look them up while
didn't di go bo ombudsman ko court jalo jalo ga ba itumela go tlhele ma wildlife
no re ombudsman di kae maybe o ka heta ka tsa court le tsone gore a di ka nna paro kae
can I get let re ke ntse ke araba tse di ke taboela go so I'm pulling it up so that ke ka kgona go ha na go di haka ele ke ya di number di ke ne ke bua ka di fire breaks. We have done fire breaks tse dingwe ga ra di dira jaaka re ne re ile sa go di dira 2022-2023 we had litigations at the fire break, almost all of them. And Renaraema, Nersitara, what did it contract? Renaraema for almost 2 years, I was on go court, or Seko. Really conclude Lesote. But I need to.
It's a tender at the fire break.
It's a tender at the fire break. And okay. I need to give a context to this. The fire breaks, the declares I would do almost every year. And they were given to the same people every year. And when we changed and made an open tender, we had a problem. The people who were used, no tender, fire break, so much that by the time Garidi opened up in 2022-2023, but when a batabar was a fabric, needs a mama. And this brought out major issues. So, these are the real issues that we had to deal with. And didn't last year, and one of the lessons we have learned has been that the fire break is an elite daily. We tell Lord Mutale one we hit 500 kilometers. And Pasaponigo hits. So last year we decided we are not going to give anybody more than 200 kilometers. So we are cutting them down, maximum 200 meters, average 100 kilometers to 150 kilometers. And this also caused a lot of conflicts. But now we were trying to do two things. One, spread the risk wide. But secondly, empower BOTSWANA. Instead of giving one person a fire break 500 kilometers, we give it to two people. 200, 200. So Leone, but this year we have already started the process and we believe that we will be successful. So, but the main issues has been that the litigation has been so that has been our major issues.
Chair, may I? In 2022,
or by then. The then minister, Onara parliamentary, within her budget, wa go reka di greater for the fire break tse di mo di parking le di game reserve. Dina di a kgona go rekwa di bokgakala bokae go diragala eng ka tsone e le gore la go dira di fire break in house.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, the fire breaks that we did run in house, if you look at CKJR, for instance, it's how we Dikologa is almost more than 500 kilometers away. So we have a number of plants. We have one Kochobe Moremi CKJR. Specifically, we did for the park. I had the fire break because Harna that capacity in house. Most of them already in house. The we contract out to the private sector. Going back to the question in the ombudsman, we have cases ombudsman. It's ombudsman deal 15, and we have managed to resolve deal 7. And we have 8 outstanding. They
are taking the heads.
We are working to conclude, and then we have the Public Service Commission. We had deal 14. We have managed to resolve the 5 and 9.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Court.
Attorney General's chambers, Diko Court. There are 9 cases. Harris already resolved.
Yeah. Thank you. Udi Arabi le sote agre Romabeo. Ho ha gona le o togetse
Scarce skills.
Oh, scarce skills. Yes.
Okay.
Assistant manager.
Assistant manager
Yes,
reforms. Yeah, assistant manager reforms. I don't have the details. Our interview to Bali le process. I don't have that detail. Assistant manager reforms. Getting inside positions re-interview about imo bracket the positions re-interview about so I can bring the information at a later date, but haggling thing this. I'll talk to.
Let me refresh your memory.
Yes.
I've been told. I said, your people, they are the ones that called me.
Yes.
Yeah, they are the ones that gave me this information. Apparently, there was one person that was interviewed. That one person that you got from local government. That's the person that got this position. Your entire ministry is up in arms because of that.
Okay. I can now confirm that. Thank you.
Confirm our information through the secretariat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Are you new to the ministry, PS?
No.
Are you new to
No,
this?
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
But how come you don't know this? Isn't this, are you not the one that hires this, especially assistant manager?
I hire a lot of people, so I can't remember every detail.
Your reform is very key, though.
Yes, I have a feeling that you are somewhat not being truthful with us. I have that feeling.
Sorry, as soon as somebody you'll consult.
I'll consult.
Just after we have our supper, please give us that information.
Mr. Chairman, I will do that. But I have to be honest. Almost on every weekly basis, we have a promotions and promotions board. So we promote people almost on a weekly basis. So I cannot, unless the only positions that I will remember are the executive positions because there are few. But G4 position, G1 position going down, there are a lot. So I can't remember each one of them by head.
You can have a sneaking suspicion of reform reforms. ra ro ka e lebala ya ba lebala gore process ya te tsamailia ya reforms. But anyway, I get to malani ro tare nela.
Yeah,
are go ikopela. Serisi jamba tbisi bore buarta.
Ndawelo se tsa one, Mr.
Let
Chairman.
me conclude
Skills, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, skills is prescribed. Who gets it and who doesn't get it. I don't make that determination.
My question was straight. BSc Biology, Ecology, Zoology, and Environmental. Other people are being paid. They have the same qualification. That means that those qualifications are already prescribed. My question was, why pay others and leave out Babangwe? If you are not aware of that is happening in your ministry, there's a big problem. It means you really need to look into these issues, your employees. Because information that came to me was that some are being paid, some are not being paid.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the reason that somebody might not be paid is because maybe they are not doing the job that falls within the category that somebody who has this qualification doing this particular job should be paid scarce skills. That would be the difference between the two of them.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go for supper. Let's go for supper or dinner. But we'll be there for about 45 minutes. Is it okay? Or is it too much? Too much?
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, ni kopa go heta ka ya assistant manager reforms.
No, or it's a assistant manager reforms.
Ne ke re ke heta ka yone ka gore ne buditswe the assistant manager reforms.
Go ahead.
The first time right now available, it was offered our own officer who declined it. Abaya was a similar position in labor. Then it was advertised. That's when we got only one respondent. Then we decline as we speak. It's being re-advertised again. So, Hari is a hero. Advertise your heart, and we are encouraging people, including your colleagues, and what I apply. As a can now, I don't know if you're in my position. As I actually I'm available. I want this position. So I'm saying to them, some of the newspaper in this coming week. I apply. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Kikonerile, you are next.
Thank you, Chair Dumela PS and your team. Issue ya wildlife, human-wildlife conflict. Hore mo di kgaolong tse dintsinyana mo Botswana ana le hatselo te ka bophara to e bola motho kgwedi le kgwedi. Statistics no di bua ne di supa 11 so far. Ya no issue ke hore le bua ka human wildlife conflict strategy. Selena le dingwaga di ka nna pedi le ntse le se dira. Motho o ka botsa gore na re gone mo strategies preventive and corrective measures di lebile kae le ikalla go dira eng hela in brief le hela gone gore kana ditou gantsinyana di tsena ha gare ga batho di a go bata metsi unless go le ubahela le extreme me go kile ga nna le kgang ya gore lephata la lona le taepela ditou di diba mo diphakeng le wildlife areas gore go bokgakala bokae le hela gore phokotso ya tsone ka di dintsi di hitile ha di tshelelang teng carrying capacity maikalelo ke in terms of go di hokotsa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable MP, for the questions. Yeah, tota go bua maaruri gore diteu di re tshwarisitse bothata and di tsweletse ka go gapa matshelo a batho. Re ntse re dira the human wildlife conflict strategy. Se lebile dilo di le mmalwa gore re ka dira jang gore diphologolo re kgone gore re hokotse manokonoko a tsone mo bathong. Sengwe se e leng gore re se lebeletse ke gone gore ha e leng gore go a kgonagala re tsenye di barriers tse e leng gore di tshwana le diterata tse e leng gore re ka kgona go tsena ko go sa kgonagaleng re dire tse dingwe. Sengwe se e leng gore ra se dira se e leng gore re tla gore se lebile ke gone gore re epe didiba. Didiba re ntse re tsweletse ra di epa mme re tla nna re tswelela re ja tse dingwe. Sengwe se se neng se ntse se re paledisa ke boturu ba go epa didiba. Gongwe gore ke he Honorable MP se ka ihela sa gore ga o re o epa sediba o le goromente re ntse re e le gore ba re charge madi hela e leng gore ta re paledisa. Re na le madi a ne re eleditse go epa didiba di le ka bo 2022 ya. mme ke ha re ta re bona e le gore batho botlhe ba ne re ba e go repela didiba ne ba re charger go heta 1 million pula go epa sediba se le sengwe hela ke ra ba sa se go kele le go se epa hela re bona gore la go ntse go te ke government madi a tura ke se le gore ne ra se ke ra decide gore nya mare eme pele gongwe re kope thuso mo go ba ba ikemetseng ka nosi gongwe bo di-NGO gore bone ba re direle ka gore gongwe bone ga ba ka dira ba ka seke ba chargiwa madi a kalo ga nne se gone
gore sediba
erra
se epiwa ka 1 million
erra
e le gore go are se go epiwa dimetara tse kae
tse ne e le gore re di epa ko Nkamilandi ko Moremi ne e le around 150 meters tse di ne di le ko tase ne le ka ha kgalagadi ne le bo 200-250 meters so nna ne re dumela gore ke madi hela e leng gore a mantsi thata
1 million sediba ke ra gore a kere didiba gone mahantse di epiwa mo sone sa 200 o kgona go sepa ka 50,000
erra ke sone se se neng se re dira gore le rona re dumele gore ga re ke ra kgona go duela madi a kalo for sediba re ne ra project a teng re ne ra emisa gore re kope ba sele gore gongwe ba ka re ba e nne bone ba ba re direlang ka gore ga o dira le government ba ne ba re charge madi a kalo tota ke yone nka bo mo ngwageng o fetileng re ipile didiba di le 22 mme re ne ra se ke ra kgona go di epa ka mabaka one ao mme hela ke sengwe sa dio tse e leng gore ra di lebelela gore re tswelele re epe ka gore ne re ntse re epa didiba mo dingwageng tse dingwe tse ga o tsena ko bo CKJR o tsena gone ka ko bo Moremi re na didiba tse re di epile ko bo Chobe re na didiba tse re di epileng mme re ta tswelela re ntse re dira dingwe tse e leng gore
gompieno le ha le batla go epa sediba lona le akanyetsa ga kae
rona
ka duela yo re mo batla bokae
ne ra akanyetsa gore ga o ka re bo 200,000 re ne from 150 to 200,000 ne re ka utu
kana mme go ntse go turu go tsa le gale ke gone mo go ha o epela goromente go tsa go direla goromente tiro o turisa ka bomwela
through yo modula stilo ga ke itse gore a gompieno go a diragala Department of Water Affairs e ne e epa didiba e rekile machinery ela e tsamaema and wildlife go a supagala yana gore tiro ya lona e thokana le ga te isone yone machine ono drilling machine ke elo sa ithekelelwa trainer batho a nna ma wildlife ba phunya didiba ka ga dikeletso tsa lona di ntseng ka teng ke ra gore 1 million is just too much ga gona o ka dumelana le 1 million but ka a million hela go phunya didiba tse dintsi gongwe you should explore the idea ya go reka yone e drilling machine
ka gore le ruile diphologolo tsa naga
mme gone ke kopa go botsa a le kile la duela se se 1 million kana ga nne complete a le kile go na le seo se diba se le kile la se phunya ka 1 million pula
nya ga re se re se phunye ka 1 million pula mme ke dithwathwa tse e le gore ba di hiwa
a go confirm pele ke belela gore ga wa confirm
ta ke confirm pele okay gore re puntse sa tsetseng le kgao
tsetseng le kgao 1 million each 2 million go phunya didiba tse 2
gongwe ke thalo tse ke dingwe tsa dilo tse e leng di dirile gore re bone gore di go a tura kana gape rona ke re laolwa ke ba go teng ke the competent authority a go tsena ka ko bo metsing ba e leng gore ke ba water resources ke bone ba re direlang di-specification but having said that ke sone se e leng gore ile re tswelela re ne re dumela gore dilo tse di a tura ga tota ga re a tshwanela go dirisa madi a kana ke sone se e leng gore ne ra tsaya kgato ya gore nya re ka tswa re dirile tse pedi tsele mme a re ke ra tswelela re dira jalo ka gore ke madi a e leng gore a mantsi thata mme ke dumela gore a o ka tsamaya go thola gore bone ba e leng gore tiro a bone ke metsi tota ba di dirila ka bokage o ta lemoga
ya ke re ora ba metsi a ke re ba teng malatsi di-company tsa teng malatsi a di dintsi
nya ke ra mo government ba ileng gore ke bone ba tlhokometseng metsi
ora re bangwe ba batla dikhate
yaanong ne ke re ka re ye ya go ithekela di-machine tse di dirilang kana gape go na le gore go te gape re tseela private sector ditiro yaanong ke sone se e leng gore ga gongwe ga re kgone go nna le dio tse dingwetse le nako e ne re reka gate di bitswa dio tse di-caterpillar gate ke dio tse di-grader ga re reka di-grader we were best gore re tseela ke eng re sa hire private sector ta dira so but ne ke re hela ka potso ga re ya ga honorable ke kgone
nya mme ne ke re o se ke wa tshaba gore go twe o tseela private sector o le ka go savela puso madi o se ke wa tshaba gone moo ka gore ha e le gore boturu ja twe bokalokalo mme le wena o itse gore morui mo le mo o ikgantsha ka go nna le sediba ya lona le na le ditou tsa lona le diphologolo tsengwe tse le batlang dinwa go raya gore ha idea re ya ga honorable diwa le yakanyetse se ke la re le tsaba gore o tate le tseela private sector
nya thank you very much ne ke re ke a re kgang e nngwe honorable a e boditseng ke gore re dira jang ka ditou tsa re ta di hokotsa ke kgang e dingalo thata e leng gore santse re le ka go bona gore meta re ka di hokotsa ka tsela e ntseng jang mme mo nakong ya gompieno go bua nnete yala ke gore ga re ise re bone methalo e leng gore tota o ka kgona go hokotsa ka dipalo tse e leng gore di ka dira pharologanyo kana ga o lebile gore ka 2022 a hela survey e ne e diriwa ka ko kgaolong ya nka million di le chobe hela in that area the Khaza area there were 122,000 elephants re sa tsenya tsa tse di ka ko kgaolong ya Mr. Chairman ka ko bobiro ka ko so basically in the country we have about 140,000 elephants so gore o hokotse population e bata a significant number currently ka letsomo mo ngwageng re ntsha around 400-500 elephants re tsentse le tse di bolawang as problem animals so the number e nyenyane thata go ka hokotsa ha ke gone ha e leng gore re thoka dikakanyo le dithuso tsa ba bangwe gore ba re thuse ka dikakanyo gore mme re ka dira jang gore re kgone go di hokotsa ka gore go di bola ka dipalo tse di kalo ke option e leng gore ga re dumele gore e ka bereka ka sentle. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Bangwe e le mogopolo hela ba dumela gore tsone dipalo tse tsa bo 400-500 tsa letsomo di ka sia mathata le di dira gone mo conflict infested areas ko e le gore ke bo NG 35 ko gone ko kgothakgothano e le ntsi teng go loate ko merakeng le ko masimo yaanong problem e nna gore le di lata ko wildlife management area re ko diphakeng le di-game reserve yaanong di tswa kwa di utula thobolo di siela ko batho mme ha ne le di lata ko batho ne di ka siela gone ko wildlife management areas ebile gape ha le di epetse di diba gone ho di ka siela ruri te ke mogopolo e le gore batho ba wa kantse mme ha re tsena mo go ya environment tikologo gore mahelo a mangwe mo Botswana a leswehela thata mahelo a mangwe mo Botswana a leswehela thata mo e leng gore thata gone ko dikgaolong tse di ha godimonyana tse le gone ko bojana lengwa go leswehela thata le ba tikologo e le lona ba le eteletseng pele tlhokomelo ya tikologo le dira go le kae gore maphata a tshwanang bo local government ba ile gore mo metseng ke bone ba ba sela bo malele yalo ba kgone gore ba dire mo go tshwanetseng what paradigm shift agenda are you bringing on board in terms of tokahatsa tikologo le hela gone gore ha o ta ithele maphata ka go harologana ha gongwe ba ya go tshuba tse ba di gapileng yalo la ke ne re bona ka a itse ra ne le sipa maloba e tshuba mo neng ba go gapile go tshubelwa hela mo lebaleng but dilo tse dingwe tse they are not organic mo e leng gore go ka tshubelwa hela mo lebaleng gore di tshwane gore be di tshubelwa go gongwe ha go rileng ha go khurumetsweng teng ha go rileng le ira go le kae gore netefatsa gore maphata ha ba tshuba kana ha ba senya sengwe ba se senya in such a way that ha gona go nna le a negative impact on the environment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, tota ke a mogala gore go leswe mo mahelo a le mantsi a le hatsileng. Me re bereka le ba ga rona ba local government ka gore ke bone ba ileng gore tota ba mo ke tiro a bone gore ba kgone gore ba clean ba collect matakala. Me sengwe sa dilo tse leng gore ra di rotloetsa re santse re di bua le bone ke bone gore ha e leng gore go na le metse re kgone go engage ba ba ho gore ba tlhokomele mahelo a gaufi le bone ka gore gantsi o ithelele gore go tswa motho a tswa kgakala go ta go collecta matakala. Sengwe se re se lemogileng gape ke mo ditseleng gore o ithelele gore ha batho ba emang teng o ithela matakala a ga same gone ho. So ke dingwe tsa di-area tse leng gore re batla gore ha go le mo tseleng yalo go kgone go contractiwa motho a le mo ha go ithela e le moraka kana masimo a le hata se ga tsela gore a kgone go collecta a clean go bota go tswa mo go wena. Ke sengwe se e leng gore santse re engage ba local government gore re se dire re se dire so sa e ne one tsamaiso e leng gore ra e dira gore e kgone gore e tsamaise ko pele dilo ga go a tshwanela gore go tshubelwa sengwe hela ko ntle ke sone se e leng gore gantsi ra re ga o batla go tshuba sengwe bogolo jang dilo tse e leng gore di a sengwe ke bone maloba gore ba sipa ba ne ba dira ba tshubela ko ntle mme ke dingwe tse e leng gore re ntse re di buisa le batho re ba ruta gore ga o batla go tshuba o batla go destroya sengwe isa ko incinerator re na le mahelo hela e leng gore ke di-incinerator mo di-landfilling tsa rona tsotlhe ko e leng gore ke bone ko go tshubelwang dilo ka gore go contained dilo ga di tshubelo ko ntle mme ke thuto tota sengwe se re se lemoleng ke gore ke thuto e tshwanetseng go tsamaelana le go bitswang le go tsenya thupanyana mo teng gore ke gone gongwe go ka simololang go bereka ke sengwe se e leng gore ra go simolola go se dira ka gore mo re na le lephata la rona le e leng gore re le formile la environmental protection re kopantse maphata a mabedi a ne le environmental affairs le waste management go nna le kana le lengwe le lengwe tiro ya lone hela e ntsi e tawe le go bona gone gore dilo tse di dirwa jaaka di tshwanetse go dirwa mme ga o sa dire jalo re tabo re go lebisa molao jaaka o ntse ke a leboga
bangwe le mogopolo ba akanya gore ha go tla mo maleleng mo matakaleng go ka siama gongwe ha le ka dirisa mogopolo o dirisiwang wa recycle ko dithini gore matakala a rekiwe mo bathong gore ngwa ha le ka leka mogopolo wa teng ko local government le ba rotloetsa then ha o ka ke wa bona matakala go peka gore mo le mo ta ba batla go madi and ha ithelang thini te bothata jwa go kontraka batho ba tsa matakala ha kgobokantsweng teng ke gore ha ba ka ke ba lata ko kwa sa kgobokangwang teng kwa lathetsweng teng hela mo nageng batho once ha o dirisa mogopolo no o dirisiwa ko dithini do ko dithini le recycling mme hela go ka dirisiwa mogopolo wa teng e le go leka go phepahatsa gore batho ba rekisa matakala then a ke wa bona plastic kana e mo tsele gore a kwele o lebelle I think wa di-tender rawo hey botoka ba e nne go tsaya hela from the central point go nne batho go ba rekisetsang te gore le o lebelle mogopolo wa teng ya bohelo potso ke ya staff welfare gore gone mme ha re lebile structure sa lona mo lephateng re lebile 31 districts tse di leng teng as per local government le decentralization re dumelang gore government o tsamaelana le yone structure sa lona se ntse yang mo maphateng ka go harologana ke re o na le tourism o na le wildlife o na le environment re na le bothata jwa di-region sampo re le mo segologolo se le sa di-region whereby motho gongwe o tswa ke ha sekai o tswa ko Bogudiko o ema ko Gweta e le ene regional head e le yone region mme gone mo e le di-district tse tharo kana jaanong o tshwana hela le bo local government le wena o dirile ka district gore go nna le district coordinator ba lekana hela ka di-scale in different departments mo district nngwe le nngwe ha ile gore go simolola ka D1 then sure ko environment ke D1 ko tourism ke D1 ko wildlife ke D1 mme go followa hela jalo go sena dikepe ha gare gore structure seo a se teng ha se seo o ikalla go se dira delay and then pay structure gaps tse di leng teng let's say gongwe ko wildlife go ile gana le that movement wa B2 B3 batho ba te ba tsengwa mo go B1 go ne go soletse gore gongwe go na le upward mobility especially that go na le gap ya E1 ha gare ga director le deputy director maybe it was an opportunity to fill that gap gore o bokgakala jo bokae gongwe le go dira jalo. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, ke tsa gore kgakolo ya go collecta matakala re utile re ta e buisana le ba ga rona ba ko local government. District structures. Ha decentralization le di kgaogangwa from tse neng di le teng to tse 31 se se neng sa diragala ke gore rona ba bangwe bogolo jang ke bue ka le ka ministry one re ne re se ra okeletswa diphatha tsa mebereko kana di-positions tsa rona ne tsa seke tsa okediwa ka jalo go raya gore re iphithetse re tshwanela ke gore re tsene mo dikgaolong di le 31 mme re se nako koketsego mo babereking ke sone se e leng gore mo nakong ya gompieno ga re ke ra kgona gore district nngwe le nngwe e nne le babereki ba e leng gore ba ka lekana from di-department tsotlhe department e leng gore mo nakong ya gompieno e na le di-office mo di-districteng tse tsotlhe ke department ya wildlife and yone ka gore tota e ne ntse e na le di-office mo dikgaolong tse tsotlhe mme in terms of di-position tsotlhe ga re na di-position tse e leng gore di ka lekana gore di-district nngwe le nngwe e ne le complete structure sa go tswa ko the head go ya ko tlase se re neng se re lekang go se dira mo nakong ya gompieno ke gore ko di-districteng tsotlhe ra go nna le mo re go bitsang the environmental coordinator yo e leng gore e taba le coordinator wa the whole ministry wa rona mo districteng nngwe le nngwe ko e leng gore ke ena taba o kametse ministry wa rona maphata o tha ministry wa rona taba fola under the environmental coordinator ra go simolla ka gore go na le thaelo e ntsi ra go simolla ka di-district le 13 ke tsone tse e leng gore re ne re ntse re kgona go di batela ne le gore re di batetse di-position tseo di tao di le gore di nne le di-coordinator tseo di le 13 re bo re nna re dira incremental mo dingwageng tse go ya ko pele mme ka gore ngwago re ne ra helela e le gore go na le mathata a madi re bo re sa kgone gore di-position tseo re di bonele madi mme hela ra go simolla ka tse 13 e le gore maikaelelo ke gore re helele le gore district nngwe le nngwe re na le a structure sa Ministry of Environment se se complete mo district nngwe le nngwe. Thank you, Mr.
Ka kopa clarification mo gone speaker.
Right. Amalos.
Mo ya goreng ona le wildlife mo district nngwe le nngwe. I've noticed nako kgaolo ya me gore le tsene district kgaolo ya me ka bogare gore bo Marapong bo Sibina yalo ba report ko Francistown me ba bangwe ba le ko Totume me re le mo Totume district ya go ga teng go dira gore ba mereke ba wildlife ba ska ba bereka sente ka gore gore ba mo districting gore district ya bone ga go ntse ka bogare ya ke itse ke se mo so linga we ka sone ona le maikalo la gore le se bankanye gore re tswe ko Francistown ka Francistown o gakala ha gona tsela ya Francistown Totume is nearer. It would be nicer to manage district gona le gore ebe go kgantele o sa itse gore o report ko Fransana ka report ko Totong.
Okay. Thank you.
gongwe gore a di heleletse hela ene environmental coordinator o taba le mo scale se he le gone gore go leka go tatsa di structure a o kopile di post ko di PSM gore o kgone go tatsa structure.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The position re di kopile me ga ra gona go nna successful mo tse dingwe se e leng gore ra se dira ke gore re rationalize mo di position tse re nang le tsone re tsaya tse dingwe re di kopanya gore re dire di position tse re di tlhokang. The environmental coordinator tsone di tla le mo scale sa E2 e leng gore equivalent to a deputy director ka gore ba phata individually ona taba e bua ka D1 ke sone se e leng gore re batla gore ko districteng go nne le a ministry district e tshwanela le headquarters e nne le motho e leng gore o kametse ga o tsena ko batla sengwe sa Ministry of Environment o kgone go bua le motho a le mongwe hela ba kgona gore ena bone gore sengwe sa diraga ya di district tse e leng gore ba bangwe ba reporta kwa bang ko mo district e one ke dingwe tsa tse e leng gore di santse di ke ka re ke di legacy issues tse le gore ne di tswa ko morago ga go santse di district di ne di ntse me ra baakanya re ta hela le gore ba ba mo districteng ba reporta ko district headquarters e le mo teng re go ka tswa go ise go wele gompieno mme ra baakanya gore tsotlhe di nne jang ke a leboga modulasetulo Mike ke go batele karabo e sente ga ke a e tshware mo nakong ya gompieno ke a leboga modulasetulo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Monageng.
Thank you, Chairman. I think I like the confidence you super and so Arab puts with the rights. The country can no be like a helicopter. Make up a salary. Honey, on to more position here for how long?
I started acting on this position last year, March, and then I was confirmed August last year.
Okay. Do you know exactly where the helicopter is in Coast Africa for the last 4 years? Do you know the exact place in Koreone? And if you do or if you don't, have you visited Ampo? You intend
Not personally, I wouldn't say physically it's quite the Mehela rights quite then the team was supposed to leave Friday to go there by plane servicing and then they are going to be meeting the team thing go bona gape gore and so it's going thing and we have a team that is leaving come Monday this week to go there.
Thank you very much. No go bua kgantela gore tourism contribute more GDP about 32 billion, which is a substantial amount. How le ba mo le polole lona le ba le padale kom le pole mahelo a leng gore a ka attracta bajanala gongwe give me 2-3 o bo ka gape o ka mpolela gore gongwe a ka dirwa jang mahelo a gore a tlhabollwe ka le rona re le ba kwena re letsa gore re contribute mo go 32 billion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable Member. Tourism kana ke sengwe tsa tse e leng gore ha gongwe ga o le mo motse wa molepoleana sengwe se e leng gore motse o ka se benefita thata ke go rekisa the cultural aspect ya molepolole and the surrounding from dijo to music to other things and I'm saying this because Molepole is en route to Kutse Game Reserve to the Northern Parks Reserve, but ba heta ka on di tourists tse dintsi di heta gone ho. Mme ba heta hela mo motseng go sena sepe se e leng gore ba sa ba emisa ho. So ga re ka dira sengwe se e leng gore gongwe place e leng gore go rekisiwa dijo tsa traditional foods tse e leng gore ga batho ba tsena go kate le ka emaga la ja seo. Go na le currently as the ministry re developa ntse museum ye e leng gore ke nngwe ya mahelo a e leng gore dumela gore ga e setse e wetse ke gone ko e leng gore le gone go ta attract batho gore ba ka ya kwa ba go bona ditso tsa Mokwena tse e leng gore go ntse go ne go tswa kae bogologolo go diragala eng ke mme go na le kana tourism ke nngwe ya dilo tse e leng gore you sell, sometimes we say you sell a myth. Go na le legaga la ga Koboko ko mo Lepolong ke mangwe a mahelo a e leng gore aka ngoka batho go a go le bona gore re ne re utse gote bogologolo batho nne ba lathelwa mo ga re itse re a go boammaaruri batho ba tla go boammaaruri or not it's irrelevant
baloi
and I'm saying this because ko ke tswang teng it's an area e leng gore e na le historical hela ya ka rona mme batho ba ya ba le bantsi hela ka one nnete ya gore go kile ga bo gona le se batho ba ya ba go bona mme ke dingwe tsa e leng gore banana ba ka rotediwa gore ba itirele di-company tsa go isa batho ko sort of what we call mobile tseo tsa batho ba go ba bontsha gore go na le gagala go na go kgositse tšhele go na le ko mahelo a mantsi kwa e leng gore le ka dirisa gore le kgone gore le boelwe le create ditiro ke a leboga modulasetulo.
Thank you. BTO kore ga re bone thata ga e visible e rekisa Botswana as compared to gongwe bo South African tourism yana ke ba re sa ba bone mo di social media mo bo radio ka ra itse gone gongwe go na le budgetary constraints mme tse dingwe tse totala ko bo RB2 ko bo social media nka be re tere gone go ntse go rekisiwa Botswana teng mabaka ke eng thata. Then I'll come with the last question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ke tsa gore ke kgakollo eo e leng gore re le bone re ta ba tsibosa gore ba itse se gongwe re ntse re sa lemoge gore ga ba they are not that visible mme ke tsa gore ke kgakollo e nte thata re ta ba tsikini.
And then ya bohelo ke gore gape le ba tourism le ba neta le ba gakoleng le maphata a mangwe grand ministries tse dingwe gore there is a ka le itse mo go bidiwang cultural exchange ke benefitile mo go yone thata ke le ko part time ko radio for almost 8 years ne ke ya Africa Borwa bo Cape Town jazz boeng ke ya mahala not only nna gore South African tourism ne tle ka botlhale bomba one gore go tswala ko bo East Africa kwa go tla go tsena ko go rona go go bo Lesotho ba tseye batho ba le radio from each country go ba le 2 or 3 be ba tsaya ba print media ba di newspaper ba le 2 or 3 abe ba ya di festival tse di tonatse me before o tsamaya mo radio ngampo mo so se mo newspapering wa kwala ka yone wa bua ka yone bone ba go duelela sengwe le sengwe ha o tswa kwa gape ha re o tswa go bona bo George Benson o tswa go bona bo mang wa bua gape ka bone so dilo tse le gore ha di ka lebiwa di ka hela di dira gore go nne le good cultural exchange e leng gore bone ba South Africa yaanong go ka dirwa gore go ne go tsewa balitsi ba rona gongwe ba go nna kwa bokgwedi ba letsa kwa next time go tswa ba South Africa ba tla kwana e be na cultural exchange ya e leng gore e tla be se expensive mo go kana mme re na le batho ba teng ba rekisa le hatse la rona ke go ba gore megopolo eo le bua thata. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Ke tsa gore ke megopolo e mente thata re ta le one re ta etsa re dirisa re gore re kgone go godisa tourism ya rona ke a leboga modulasetulo.
Thank you very much. Me, ise ka nyana hela. Ya ntlhaile one ya gore go na le kgae go tweng ha o senyeditswe ke diphologolo bogolo jang ditou. O duelwa gangwe hela gore ke wa duela gore ke go senyetsa gapetsa ngwaga 4 ga 5 o le motho a le mongwe hela mongwe o le mongwe hela wa temo. Ne ke re gongwe ko inconfirmela ha e le gore teng a o bona e le fair ga ke ne ke utlwa ntse ke tsamaya lefatshe le. E nngwe ke ya gore ha o le molemi yo mmotana o lema magapu ha a duelelwe ha e le gore a jelwe ke diphologolo golo ja jelwe ke ditou. Mme ha o le mogwebi yo motona commercial farmer ha e le gore yaanong magapu a go a ka jewa ke ditou mme o a duelwa o neelwa phimolo dikeledi ke re a kgae kana e ka tswa e le nnete kgotsa jang o e tlhalose ha e le gore ke nnete o supe gore a mme e ka tswa e le fe ka ha ntseng ka teng ha e le gore ke nnete. Ne ke re gongwe bo akgela ka dam tourism gore e sa ka e buiwa ntse e buiwa go ntse go the dam tourism mme nna ke se ke bone sepe se se concrete se se diragalang mabapi le dam tourism ya bogelo ke gone gore le bereka go le ka le land board ke ra the conversation and the interaction e thusang gore gongwe banana kgotsa batho ba ba batang go dira tourism ba kgone go bona lehatshe gore ke kopane le banana ba le bantsi ba eleng gore ba na le kgathego tota mo tourism mathata a bone a matona ke lehatshe. Ke kopane le batho ba di-trust ba bangwe mo dikgaolong tse di harologaneng ba batla go dira di-campsite le tse dingwe mme e le gore go bona lehatshe kgotsa le ha bana le lone gore hela go approve yo go home o ithala land board e ka re na le bothatanyana. How do you interact with the land board to assist batho gore ba tsene mo tourismeng? Ya leboga.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ke kopa go confirm ya magapu.
Nya mapele ba rueditse yo ta mar ruto magapura hatela gapula la mo go yo motana a le duelo la commercial farmer la duelo ke khaeng khamaditse na mo bona ba itse bana commercial na
subsistence production, so subsistence. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ne ke ra gore ke confirm ya magapu ka gore ne ke sena ke sa e tlhaloganye sentle. Mme go boammaaruri gore ba ka compensation guidelines tse ne di ntse di le teng tse e leng gore ke tshwanetse re di dirisang gompieno. Commercial producers le subsistence producers ne ba sa treat yo go tshwana ka ra dumela gore tota ne se go sa tseye batho sente ke tshwanetse e leng gore magapu ne le ngwe ya tse e leng gore ne di sa duelwe ga o le mo subsistence farming. Mme mo the new proposal e re taong re itisa ra tsentse gore re dile gore di-condition di tshwane hela ga o senyeditswe wa bo o senyeditswe tota ke dingwe tsa tse e leng gore re di itemogetse ke tshwanetse re bonang gore go botoka gore re change.
Mera motho a ka botse no go informiwa ke gore go tewa le ga pulela o amogwe bo motana se mo nyenyane go tena ga duelo yo le wa duelo go mo ne go informiwa ke. Was there any rationale for that except to discriminate motho ya la ka gore o mo nyenyane mo kgwebong?
Ya ta ga ke na lebaka le leng gore nka re ke lo le nne le lebile mo nakong ya gompieno.
Okay, let's go.
Like dams tourism.
No, ya gore hata gore ha di tojo go tsara ta go a duelwa ha di tala bobedi la boraro la bone. Ne tsone di kgaotse. Ra bulu kana la so go le nna kwano ga borone go a le tiri kgangwa.
Yeah, correct.
ora ke na tsa go di kgaolo tsena itse
Yeah, gore na tshwenyang batho ko dikgaolo. Yeah, tota ga to e go senyeditse wa duelo with the view ya gore o bo baakanya gone ho gantsi pharologanyo ya go nna le kgothang ga e leng gore e ne e tsene gone ga o bo o duelo go bo go sa baakangwe e bo e ta e tsena gape gone e bo e ta kore ga gongwe kore a itse gore nka e baya ga re tshwanela re go duela re sologela gore o go thibe ka kore o baakanye sešwa e se ka ya bo e ta e tsena gape e go senyetsa gape kore mapako a gongwe ga wa busetsa ga wa tsenya a siameng o tse rona a nantse a robegile hela le bo te re go duele gape ke gone gantsi ga go nnang le pharologanyo mme hela ga e ka go senyetsa kore ga e ka go senyetsa ha ka moso ya go senyetsa ha ka moso ya go senyetsa wa duelo ga o gate ga wa e go senyeditse o le mongwe hela gantsi
wa e thomamisa thank you
Dams tourism e diegile mme mabaka a gore e bo e diegile ke gore lease ya rona kana ne re rata gore water utility se re he lease so that re signa di sublease le ba re ba hang di tsha mo matamong re simotse ka ga borone re setse re sign di sublease le bothe ba ile gore ba hilo di tsha mo ga borone dam re go Litsibogo gona di setse di le teng ko Shashe dam di setse di le teng mme mathata a tswenetse pele a matamo a mabedi ao ke gore water utility se santse e ne santse na le khothang le e seng khothang e ne santse sa dumalane le land board ya ho gore lease ya bone ba e chargewa bokare bone le lease ya bone gore batho ba hitsetse go go rona nne ba re ka halen body ba tang go ba charge ka tema di a mantsi thata mo le gore ba kgone go a duela so ba tsere le baka gore ba resolve issue ya lease ka rona hela ga re batla gore ga re go award re gore go sainisa lease o bo kgona go simolla mme ga go sena lease ya gona jaaka ona o ka simolla mme jaanong ke dumela gore ne ba re bolella mo bekeng tse pedi tse di hitileng gore ba setse ba le ga o hile go conclude kgang ya bone tota kgang e tona ne le lease gore kana re ke ra go hasetsa re bo re sa kgone gore re go sainise lease mme anong ka gore hela ga ba wetse rona re taba re go sainisa lease re bo re kgona gore o ka tswelela wa dira se o batlang go se dira mme di sa tsone ne re setse re di identifyile for both mo matamong le tamo le ne le santse re ise re identify di sa sente mo teng ke Tuni dam le dikgathong mme le tsone ne e le mathata a gore ne di santse go na le dikgang mo le land board tse e nngwe go na le ko e leng gore go na le bangwe ba ba ipeletsang gore lease area e tsene mo mahelong a bone ya ne re batla gore kana tsa lehatshe di hediwe pele di se tsa toga tsa rata gore thakanyetsa rona re hile batho
ba land body le bereka ya le bone go thusa gore ba ba batang disa tsa tourism ba di bone because go thata tota land body na dingala mo bathong ba ba batang go tsweledisa mandate wa lona
tata se ne re ntse re se le ka pele ne le gore land body re identify mahelo a e leng gore a ka direlwa tsa bojanala mo teng re gore land body ya re ga go rona re kgone gore re ga motho a re ke dira se re kgona go mo ra re tsena mme kgang ya teng ga ise wele e santse e gana nyana
thank you very much
Just a short one.
A short one, please, and then Honorable Malusi, then we go to the financials.
Yona ya maelo a gaogile Gabron Dam e ka re mathata e ne se le siela mme ne le ampolala a ntse go ama le sieng kore a go twe e ne le gape issue ya gore ne go te ba adimiwa nakonyana e khutshwane mme kana ba adimiwa bo 15 years motho ntse re go senka madi a go aga mme be re morago ga 15 years be gore sengwe le sengwe se boela ko ampo ke ko government ampo ke water utilities kore dilo tseo ke di buana ka gore batswana ba eletsa go tsena mo tourism mo bojanaleng mme o itlhela di-condition di le dingalo thata le kang gore di relaxiwe go sekanyana ka gore ke wa go adima madi e be after 15 years ba o sote tswaya o tlogele sengwe le sengwe jang.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, ke issue e neng ya ntshiwa la ntlha re ne re 15 years. Me bao ba ba neng ba hiwa go ba ne ba itela ba supa gore 15 years ga lekana gore ba kgone gore ba invest ba be ba bone di returns tsa bone ke so se leng gore mo nakong ya gompieno re dumalane ka 30 years gore ba at least 30 years gore bo ba operate go ka leboga mo last
the last
e ka leboga re mo dukanele de gantse tsa ba bereki they keep on recurring la re ntse ha di message di a tsena gona le kgang ya overtime ba bereki ba lona ba bua gore ba kgona go bereka bo more than 22 days be ba kore be ba duelela 22 days hela be ba bereketse more than 22 days especially ba tshwanang bo K9 unit le gore motho a theogetsa tlhokomela ntšang kore ntša a teo itlhokomela 24 hours mme a ba sa duelelena yone kgang eo be go na le kgang ya di-risk allowance ya batho ba e leng gore ba bereka le diphologolo problem animals gore ke eng gongwe le sane le unit ya problem animals e be le trainer batho ba teng gore sente tou e bolawa ya ka gore gompieno ba bua gore kore go tswa batho hela ba bogologolo go mdala le go bana ga a sa bone a nela thorobolo ya sekgoropa be go taya go bola tou kana go bola nare and then tse dingwe ke dikgang tsa gore ba ye mo di-tripping SPL wildlife kore ba duelwa 3,000 for subsistence so even if they go for 30 days ba duelwa 3,000 hela mme pedi ya meala kana gore ke 300 ka letsatsi gore ba duelwa that 10 days the rest of the days gore re government o ja mahala so kgang ya bone ba botsa gore ke ba sa tseo jaaka ba bereki ba bangwe ba bua gore la o tamo ga borone kore junior officers especially le gana go banela pedi la re motho a teka tante a taga borone jaanong ke re ke jaanong nna se ka se kopa mo go wena se ke gore etela babereki ba gago especially ko dikgaolong o bue le junior officera o ute matshwenyego a bone because I believe you are new on the job gongwe dikgang tse dingwe di ka tswadisa gore ko go wena because in a department e tshwana le ya wildlife e leng gore go na le hierarchy o ithaya le gore diboso di kgona go gatelela batho e be gore gore dikgang tsa batho ba ba ko tlase ga di goroge ko go wena the ultimate decision maker. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honorable Member. Yes, dikgang tsa babereki di dintsi and re santse re dila le tsone dikgang tsa gore ba bereka 22 hours versus 26 hours ke dikgang tse e leng gore re santse re di tshwere le ba di-union tsa bone kana dikgang tsa babereki bontsi ba tsone tse dingwe tse especially tsa dituelo tsa di-allowance ke tse e leng gore re di dila le babereki le ba di-union ba e leng gore ke bone ba e leng gore dira le bone thata so dikgang tse gore di tshwere ra di itse tse dingwe tse le tsone re ntse re bereka mo go tsone ke tsaya gore mo nakong e sa hitseng pelo bontsi ba tsone re taba re di resolvile ke setse ke simolotse ke setse ke kopane le ba ba ko Maung ke kopane le ba ko Bono Maloba ke tabo ke na le schedule sa go engage le bone across the country go simolla mo kgweding yone ya June ke a leboga.
Thank you very much. Technical advisor, take us through the numbers.
Let's go to the memorandum of progress.
Mr. Chairman, ne ke kopa hore go na le some corrections tse ne re kopa go re di dira ke so ra no ka re letela hore re di highlight gompieno before re simolola.
Re ka di dira motseso.
Ne ke tla kopa hore my accountant a re di highlight ke leboga.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, PS.
Memorandum of executive summary. Okay. Go ahead. Check. Corrections, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Page 4 of the Memorandum of Progress. Case Yakadin Pekebonya Tatna. Our annexures C1 and C2. We want to remove C2. It was erroneously put there and replace it with another C2 and an additional C3.
Is it possible that you can deal with them as we go along?
We can do that, Chair. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's deal with them as we go along.
Okay, Chair.
Okay, the page 2, the top table is a memo. And this one goes up to the next page. We close. And then the one on ETHLAB we close. Unless Auditor General Lenal any other comments.
Auditor General?
If you are fine, you can go on.
Thank you, sir. ETHLAB is fine. We close.
Okay. And then training bond liability on page 4, we memo.
That's where she wanted to correct.
You wanted to correct something there?
Yeah.
We wanted to replace the receipt area, attach it and attach the correct ones. If you notice, it's outside the period.
The recoveries are outside the period.
No. The receipt that we had attached, it's a wrong receipt.
Okay.
But the adjustment voucher is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's a memo anyway.
Memo?
Page 5, the first one you monitor, what is it? The monitoring report. Lepaleng we close. Mutware we close. Vitoko we close. Koinapu we close. And the National Environment Fund Strategy we close. And then from page 8 to 203, page 8 to page 203.
Page 203.
Yes. They're all dealt with at the Auditor General's report.
Dealt with at the Auditor General's report. Auditor General, Accountant General, are you comfortable?
It's okay.
It's okay?
And then for 204, finally, page 2808, there's a monitor. The rest are in the Auditor General's report. So we go to
Sorry, which one are we monitoring?
at 208. Yes, Simon.
Yeah, Simon
Yeah,
Takope.
yeah. The rest are the Auditor General's report. Then, if we go to 216, 216, there's a monitor, Aramafuta. Then 211 to 217, the Auditor General's report. We go to 218 to 226, Auditor General's report.
226.
Yes. Then on page 227, we memo the first one. The second one is the Auditor General's report. Then the bottom table we memo. And then
Go to 25.
Okay.
Number 19. Leon referring.
What's been? It's a memo, is it?
It's a memo.
Yes, that one's a memo. The others have been referred. Then we go to 227 with memo the first one, and the bottom table is memo. 229, the first three.
Sorry, page 228. Ya hata se thabiso le yone re eletsa go dira correction mo go yone. It's supposed to be closed, but ne re sa ya touchetsa masupi ra tshotse.
Nela accountant by level. Okay, Nela accountant page 229, 5, 6, and 7 are memos. The rest are dealt with. Page 231 is dealt with. The trans-salary we memo the trans-salary Frontier Park. We're done. Let's go to the Auditor General's report.
228. Accountant General. Santri Levilese.
Okay, Auditor General's reports. Let's go to page 3. That is page 2. A number.
Apologies, one in is a number.
There's no one there.
Okay.
Okay, it's page 1 then. These are the revenue results. Unless somebody has any comments on this, it's monitor. Page 2 is monitor. Page 3 we monitor. 4 monitor. 5 monitor. 6 we monitor. 7 we monitor. 8 we monitor. 9 we monitor. 10 we monitor. And then we go to the development fund. Those are the projects.
Apology for the opening paragraph. Would love to correct that one also. We gave the results for March 2021 instead of March 2022. We have the correction with us.
Let's see.
The opening paragraph, page 11,
Yeah,
Development Fund.
Akibo. But meanwhile, like I would say, yeah, Kasani Kazungula, what was the contract sum for that one? Kasani Kazungula.
On page
Page 11. Can I page 11? No, seriously, no, correct. I go to Mukwana. How about the they spent 89%. The new one shows 97%. What was the contract price here in Yakasani, if I may ask? But what?
Kasani Kazungula, the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, the contract sum. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The contract sum was 161 million.
This was the warranted agri for that year.
The warranty.
Not the contract sum.
Expenditure.
That was the warranted for that year.
This year. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me confirm it first.
Okay. Let's move on. Meanwhile, let's move on. Monitor. Page 12 is a monitor. Unless I only like to comment, say the thank you, miss. Page 13 is a monitor. 14 monitor. 15 monitor. 16. 16 variations on her. What were the causes? What were the causes of these variations? It's 16 year the package is B and C. Fence maintenance.
Yes.
What were the variations for?
Okay, just yes, the variations for this was there were 3 variations. One of them was for deviation of the line. When there was they had to change the alignment of the fence because they are private properties, so it has to be changed in a delay. And as a result of that, when the idling cost because while how to realign the fence. It's a contractor. These are some of those variations.
Anyway, we monitor. Page 17, we monitor. 18, monitor. 19, monitor. 20, monitor. 21, we monitor. 22 lone na le di variation. Ke tsa what were they for? Hapa go na le di variation le ne le bua gore for ke tsa eng.
Yeah.
Noted.
Noted.
'23 we monitor. 24 we monitor. And then page 25, Auditor General of okay. We monitor. Huh? Ma? Auditor General. Karifa okay, we monitor. 25 paid special funds, Satori training. Okay. And then
It's okay, Rabbi Audit.
27 we monitor. 28
So,
monitor.
we monitor or we are closed. TTF.
For what?
Are we monitoring or we are closing? The one on training under TITF.
That fund? That which ones?
The Tourism Industry Training Fund.
125.
We monitor. Hold on, no, we monitor.
Okay.
Statement 14 Soterasa monitor. Statement ma 10 statement 10 again. We
Statement
monitor statement 10 and we monitor statement 14 as well. Page 28. Retention. Accountant General, if you are fine lead clearance, it's enough. We monitor. Unless you're a little okay with the clearance, we monitor. Page 29, we monitor. 30, we monitor. 31, we monitor. 32, we monitor. 33, we monitor. 34, monitor. 35, we monitor. 36, we monitor. 37, we monitor. 38, monitor. 39, monitor. 40, we monitor. 41, example like Accountant General. 41, we monitor. 42, we monitor. 43, we monitor. 44, monitor. 5, monitor. 46, we monitor. Other deposits account. From 48 to to 55, page 48 to page 55. Other deposits, page 48 to 55. There's one clearance there. The rest we monitor. 48 to 55. The rest we monitor. Withholding tax, page 55. We close the bottom table. And page 56. We close 7 and 8. Oh, 8 and 1 Lenny or I'm close at 8 and 10 and 11. The rest we monitor.
The 10 quotas has a cut-off date.
Page.
You monitor. You monitor. So, and then page 57. The top table is cleared. The rest are monitors. The bottom table are all monitors.
We don't close the top one.
No, I said we close the top one, and then the rest we monitor. And then page 58, we close number 11, number 9, 10, and number 10, and we close number 11, and 14, and 15. But you still need to adjust this two table. The rest is monitor. Then page 59 to 110, they are all cleared after the cutoff. From 59 to 110, we monitor.
To page 110. But we have some that are closed in between.
Which one?
Example would be on page 77, line 345, 346, and then
Page.
page 77. I haven't gone through all the pages, but okay, maybe let me just go through.
345, 346. As the cut-off date. Clear 2025. Clear 2025.
Ne ke kopa gore ke boele ha moragonyana ha go page 70, line 216. Page 70, line 216.
Oh yeah, okay, no, sorry.
Emma.
You go to page 70.
Emma.
Page 70. 70. Yeah. Now let's clear him. You see the cleared? Umasoko and
It's only one.
it's only one.
It's only one on page 70.
Page 70.
70216.
It's only one. Then you go to
Which one is it?
Maseko.
216. Number 216.
216.
Masoko Motadile.
Yeah. Then you go to 77. Then you go to 77. The bottom two, they are cleared. Then you go to 70.
Sorry, Bear.
Go easy.
Why are you saying?
Page 77.
I saw the cut-off in a challenge, a cut-off date.
Oh.
Clear 2025. Clear 2025.
My apologies.
No, it's
Yes,
after,
you will.
it's after, oh, okay, it's after cut-off.
My apologies for that.
Then 79. Okay, so 78. 78. Yes. Declaring the bottom three and the 349 and 3. No, the bottom three. Then we go to 79. We cleared 369. 370, 371, 372. Then we go to page 81.
Ma'am, how about the other ones?
Which ones? What page, ma'am?
360. We're at page 79.
Oh, yeah.
Page 79,
Oh,
item
79.
362.
Yeah, 79, it's all. Okay.
No, not
bottom
all.
Except
two.
the
The bottom two, except
Yes. Then we go to 81. Except for 396, 397, 398, the rest are cleared. Then we go to 98.
391, 392. Are they cleared? Cut-off date 2025.
Oh, the 399, 400, 401, and 402.
403 also.
And 403 and 4 and then 82 404 le 405 ke gona ka?
402 is
Emma.
not clear.
It's for 3.
402, part of it is adjusted. There's still a balance.
Oh, okay.
Emma.
No, I can do you can adjust but okay, but and then the more page 81. Then we go to
82.
82. Yeah, those ones which are cleared in April. The ones that are cleared in April, and it's the whole page.
No, the first two are clear.
The first two are cleared, the others are monitored. Then we go to 98.
98.
Did you want to clear up the cutoff? 98. Huh?
96.
96.
Number 643 and 648.
And
643.
yes, then 97. No, these things are cleared after 2025, so it's 98. All these are cleared after the cutoff, except for the 653.
653.
Okay,
Good.
then we go to 98. It's the first three. Yes, this one is a yes. So I think all the others are monitor. I can't want any other up to page 110.
Accountant General, 98, page 110.
Yeah, they were all cleared after the cutoff.
106.
106.
105, the top one, line 795.
Can we deal with 99 first? I think I'm lost.
Okay.
The first 5.
The first 5 they are not clear.
Yes. 105.
105.
7.
The first line, line 795.
106.
106.
823.
Emma.
So we go to page 111. Table there. Okay, 111, the table there is dealt with. Bottom table, you close 2 and 3. No, you end 1. And, no. You close 1, 2, 3. All of them, eh?
The whole page.
Yeah. Removing statement 22.
Emma.
Statement 22, we monitor. And then page.
Are we not closing those ones? The loss of stores?
You really did this one.
Oh,
This is the wheel.
oh, Emma. Sorry.
And then page 113. We close 5 and 6. In fact, the whole page we close. 114 we close. 115, we memo the first 2, close the last 2. 116, we memo the first one, close the second one, and memo the third one. 117, we memo the first one and close the next ones. 118, we memo the page. 119, close the first 2, memo the third one, close the other one. 120, we memo 19 and 20. The others we close. We close 121. 122 we memo, then we close. 123 we memo, both top table, memo, bottom table. Memo 125 we memo, 126 we memo. 127 we close. 128 we memo. I just know statement 22 is its monitor. Connects it there. Doesn't it remove 22 agar? It's actually monitor. Agar. Agar statement. Doesn't it remove 22 agar? Or our key monitor. We 128 or our we monitor. 129 we monitor the first one, close the second one, monitor the second one, and close the 18.